Hey, this is Ross Mann, role-playing public radio. We're playing Masks of Nyarlathotep, Shanghai, where the player character has become full circle. Yes, the campaign began in Shanghai, and hopefully it shall end in Shanghai. One way or the other.
We will.
Yeah. One way or the other. So in the last session, the players managed to defeat, slay the evil Robert Huston, and free the Yithian.
And leave a bunch of people to their horrible doom.
Almost certainly. So, yeah.
We don't know for sure. So.
No,
They did have a lightning gun.
You're in the middle of the desert with very minimal supplies.
One of them
That's
might
not
have
true.
made it.
They could find like the entire
We spent a lot of money on our supplies.
Yeah,
There
we
was
have
like
supplies. Plus,
12 points of supplies left.
Yeah, no, they'll be
Right
fine.
outside.
also there's Nodin's Dingo Man, so he'll take care
They
of
could
it.
also just eat each other.
That's why you don't. That's why I'm not penalizing you more, Sand. That's not why you get any more.
I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is they're going to like turn into the kids from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
They're going to find a little oasis in the outback. Their English will degenerate into pidgin, and eventually
Tina Turner
they'll
will
be
save
discovered by Mad.
Yeah.
It doesn't save them.
Okay, sorry. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I know she's in the
Also,
movie.
It's kind of two movies glued together. So
All right,
anyway, sidetrack.
Moving
Which are
on.
the ACF, or so for the audio files and our listeners. So as
It may
we
take
begin,
a minute for it to actually.
Yeah,
that's fine.
how systems
So as we begin, you've stepped through the gate from the city into Shanghai, into Sulan's home. Which is very surprising to her because she sold her home and she assumes other people will be living in it. But there is a letter waiting for her, addressed to her, and dated this day, which is May 26, 1925. And
says, what?
as she reads it,
House haunted.
it explains that a Mrs. Lumens bought your house after.
Lumens?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Okay.
After you left, and has been keeping it intact and has stocked it with a full pantry. And waiting for your return.
That's nice.
But you need to give me a stability check, actually, because they knew about you even before you knew about them, and they foresaw this. Yeah.
I'm fine. I got a 4.
All right. Yeah. No. This is just another day. This isn't even in the
Or
top
to
10
expect
weirdest
the
of this
unexpected.
day.
No.
So, so it explains you have limited research. Like the lamplighters have left. They took care of your house, but they have no presence in the city. If you wish their aid further, you will have to. They say there is a way to contact them, but it is mentioned in the ritual of dueling mirrors in the seven cryptical books of Hassan, which is somewhere in this city. So you must find that if you wish to get their help once again. So there's reference. But you all quickly realize that you now have a unique advantage in Shanghai. No one knows you're here yet.
And we have lightning guns.
You have lightning guns. You own this house again. It has been retitled to you. You have lightning guns. So,
At that point, I'll begin.
as I explained to the players before we start recording, but for the listeners, I am instituting another rule from Knights Black Agents, which is the heat rules, because Shanghai has a very large police force and many armed factions that are interested in skullduggery.
That's a different game.
Anytime the player characters do something in public, there's a chance someone will notice them and take action against them. And so currently your heat is 1. So anytime you guys go out, you have to roll d6, and if only one person has to roll per group of players.
Not Aaron. Never Aaron.
And not me.
If it is equal or less than your current heat, then you get additional interference.
Except for
John, because of his punishment, he gets a heat of 2. So
Yay!
yeah, because the one-eyed
Bring the fuzz.
The one-eyed British man is a little more noticeable than most expats.
Have you seen the one-eyed British man?
Yeah.
Tell me, brother.
So, Sulan, you realize, of course, you were missing it. You might want to recruit some additional aid. So you know of one of your former patrons who you could send word to or call them, I guess.
It was always good in a sticky situation.
Yes. But yeah, it is May 26th right now. Your current health and stability is what it is. So it is not full for some of you. So if you wish to, your investigative abilities have refreshed because this is a new chapter. And yeah.
Who votes we arrest?
Me.
Yes,
everyone
you could
votes we
choose to rest if you
So
want
what
to.
happens with health points when we arrest?
I believe, let's see here, I'll allow you to refresh all your other investigative ability. I think the health... Yeah, look up the
Is
healing.
anybody at -6 or
No.
lower than -5?
No, I'm
No.
just -3. So.
Was anyone ever at lower than -5?
No.
Yes. But
Okay. Then you have been seriously injured and need to go to the hospital. You don't heal until you do that.
You could spend
No.
credit rating to...
Bring a
Hospital.
doctor here.
Bring a doctor here. It would take 1 credit rating to have Aaron treated in a public hospital, which would require a heat check, obviously.
2.
Two to get a crappy black market doctor. 3 to get a good black market doctor.
I will spend for the good black market.
Okay. You didn't even hear what the difference was between the good black market and the bad black market doctor.
Darlingtons don't pay for less.
The difference is you still heal up. You just have to make a health check to not get a secondary infection. So, but if you want to avoid that, you can just go and spend your extra credit rating.
It's worth the credit.
Not going to do that since I'm playing secondary infection next week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. You are. You can spend your credit rating. You can heal up. How many days does it say?
2 points per day of restful activity.
2 points per day of restful activity.
Well, that's everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're seriously wounded, you just basically...
Well, how long does it say how long it has to
Oh, was that health or was that
convalesce?
stability? So.
That's health.
That's health.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stability
Oh.
is a different thing.
Must rest in hospital for number of days equal to absolute value of health score.
Absolute bad.
So you got down to -6.
Well, no, that was stability. I'm sorry, I screwed up. I was looking at stability and I'm thinking health. My apologies.
Okay, so did your health go below?
No, it didn't. It was 5.
Well, never
Oh,
mind.
so we
Okay.
went through that whole thing for
So if nobody...
Well, in the future,
We learned something for the future. Okay, I'm sorry.
Get your credit rating back.
If nobody hit -6, then you get 2 points per day of restful activity at
Okay.
the end.
Okay.
So we'll hang out in
yeah.
the house for 5 days. Will that get everybody?
Do we need 5 days?
Yeah, how many, what, yeah, you
I only
kinda-
need 5 points. So,
I'm at a 2.
So that's 3 days for you.
Well, 5 days seems fair for.
Okay. It's my house.
Yeah, with 5 days of rest, you can just take a week
Yeah, no. We'll take
and then-
a week
and
off.
refresh everything, basically.
Stability, can we write home or anything?
You could contact. That would require a heat check, though. Because you're sending a letter or telegramming. That kind of is
What the hell?
okay.
Why? Okay.
But
So
when-
you've got someone who's local who probably knows some people. Why not spend some investigative points and start building a network so we don't have to show our faces?
Or you could use. I would say sending a letter, period, because you have to use your real name to send a letter to a loved one.
actually, what if...
Why?
Why?
Well, we can use cryptography.
Well, even so, people are going to be opening letters and checking anyway.
Can
It is
we
Shanghai,
can we spend a point of cryptography
I'm saying he's going to make a check
to negate it?
The what?
Can we spend a point of cryptography?
Okay, yeah, sure. Go all, yeah.
Does
So
that
that
have
I
to
would...
be-
That would be for the group. You could.
Yes, I will spend that point for the group so
sweet.
we can...
Okay. So.
Do we need to make the heat check?
No, because you
sweet.
used your cipher ability.
So we get 3 points of stability?
If you can tell me who you're contacting, what you're doing.
I'm going to contact my wife to let
Okay.
her know that I'm okay,
Okay.
that everything's fine,
Yeah.
and that I'm solving mysteries and cooking lots of
Are
bacon.
you giving her a return address that she can contact you?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
She's used to this sort of thing.
All
Her
right.
husband's a detective. He's in deep cover.
All right.
I tell her to take care of the dog.
Yeah.
Please make sure the dog's okay.
All right. You can. That'll be it for this chapter, though. So.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die soon anyway.
So you can actually visit people since you probably know somebody in town.
Would I have to...
That would be a heat check, but it's only one. So yeah.
Okay. I'll do that.
Actually, no. You could use Aaron's cipher ability to send an encoded message to have them meet you at your house.
Right. So I will write to my sister.
Okay.
And have her come and visit me for a couple of days.
Is there anyone else you're going to write to?
Well, we can. This is just for the source of stability thing.
Don't worry, we'll get to you.
Yeah, Bill's character, you will be showing up soon. For the sake of expedience. Anne, are you contacting anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
I will contact Sylvie in New York.
All right. Yes.
Get her on a slow boat over here.
It's ever so good to hear from you. You imagine her saying, "Are you?"
Probably thought
No,
it
that's
was
what her
dead.
letterback says.
Yeah. She'll send a telegram very quickly if you give her a return address to telegram to Huja.
Yeah, but it's not going to be Sulan's house. It's going to be like
Okay.
a different area.
All right. Checking the messages will require a heat check, obviously. But I mean,
Hire an adorable urchin.
Yeah.
I do have a
But
friend
Sylvie
in
will.
town.
If you bring Sylvie into Shanghai, I will give you an advantage for that, taking that risk. She can introduce you to higher social circles, which could be useful if you want to get help from a government that is here. Because she comes from a very well established family, very. So she's ever so good to hear from you. It's ever so good. And you had a whole backstory written for her.
I did.
Yes. So I'm not going to negate that. If she comes in, you can explain it. So, but that will be the heat check. So she'll be on her way, and you can tap her whenever you want. In the next session. So, or anytime afterwards. And Sean, So Aaron, are you contacting anybody?
Yes, I'll go ahead and contact my parents. So,
What are you saying?
And Bill's. I'm being completely nonchalant. I'll say my search for my brother continues, even though I'm abjectly lying to make sure that my parents are not crushed.
Yeah. You know by now, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still tapping. My family means everything to me. So
Well, you're avenging him, kind of. You're fighting the god. That
I am, but I'm not going to worry them about because they don't even know about what I've seen. So, and what he probably saw before his untimely consumption.
Yeah.
So, but telling them this is just one. I will contact you when I again because I am still moving towards. Moving towards where he is. So
closure.
The closure.
Okay.
And I'll try to get in contact with them as soon as possible.
Okay.
So.
You with your ciphers and your tradecraft, you can all send a message out, and someone will know that you're there, and that gives you some solace. And after defying death so many times, and not realizing that not everyone made it, so the stakes are even higher. So you're in Shanghai. So you want to bring in Bill's character?
How much stability is that?
It's 3.
Yeah, I'm at 0.
If anybody has strength, they can use it. So.
I thought you were at
Do I
negative
have to do
1.
my
Was it
check
-3?
now or later when she
I
actually
thought you
gets
bought
here?
stability points and that brought you up.
No, because I didn't.
Oh, you changed your mind.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
Okay.
So I'm at 0, but that's okay.
Confusion.
Yeah,
Does
so
anybody have strength they want to use?
You mean psychoanalysis?
No.
Or
Psychoanalysis.
Shrink
Yeah,
is not a
I'm
thing.
sorry. It's on Gumshoe.
no,
Yeah.
sorry, Aaron.
It's okay.
You must stay disturbed.
I'll figure something out.
Stay disturbed. That's how the audience wants
All
you.
right. Fair enough.
So I'm going to confer with the others and say I think that we should bring in someone else to help us while we're here. And I will suggest my old friend / patron, Reggie
What's Reggie's last name?
Prickwillow, right?
Yes.
Reggie Prickwillow. I knew him years ago.
In the biblical sense.
That's not what I said.
Courtesan.
Is he a sailor?
No. I will let Reggie explain himself when you meet him. It's really the only way.
Wait, Prickwillow?
Yes?
I think I went. No, I did go to boarding school with him.
Not with
Reggie.
not
Reggie?
Reggie.
No.
Possibly one of his nephews or nieces.
Okay. How old is
nieces,
Reggie?
rather.
Reggie
Old
is-
enough to be
Okay.
The
the
50-year-old
the retired courtesan's patron.
Right. He's 60ish.
So
Okay. So,
Anyway,
I
so-
was familiar with this family.
So I was thinking that maybe I could write to him and see if he would be willing to join us in our adventures.
What the
Yes.
hell? Takes out highways and around.
What?
I lost it by this.
The eyes have it.
No, you're still clinging to sanity. With
Right.
How many points is it? Did you
Three.
Three points of sanity. One thing you can, you do realize one of your big problem is you realize the cult is the stronghold in this city isn't even in the city. It's in some place called Grey Dragon Island, which you don't know exactly where that is, but that sounds like a place you need a ship to get to.
What?
Yes, so perhaps a naval officer might be handy in that endeavor.
He was always a very stable fellow,
Yeah,
which we could use.
fate of the world and all that.
Just another day.
All right, so Reginald makes an appearance at her.
Yes. Indeed.
Reggie!
Oh, Sulan, it's been so long.
Okay, that's enough.
So, Sulan, you need to introduce your friends.
Right, Reggie, please meet my friends.
Thank you.
And evidently, you know Miss... What's your name?
Lydia Darlington.
Darlington?
Darling, you don't say. I believe my nephew Charles. Or, no, sorry.
Yes.
Wrong.
Chuck Prickwillow?
Boarding school. Sorry, I keep forgetting your character's female.
Well, her brother.
Lydia.
Yeah.
Lydia.
I say, did a member of your family attend the insert name here boarding school?
No.
Go to Greek Cork, yes. In excellence.
Yes.
Yes.
No, only the finest. No, my brother Daryl. So, you're welcome.
What, did you have another brother?
Yes. Damn, I can't remember what his name was.
Come on, low it over the plate. Your brother Daryl?
Yeah, no, I was not. Yeah, my other brother Daryl. No, not my other brother Daryl.
Oh, at any rate, yes, upper class.
We watched Bob
yes.
Newhart. What is it to you?
Interactions.
Reference.
Well, chuffed to meet you here.
And this is Margot. She and I have been through everything together. You're meeting
Watch your
Margot.
Sorry, did that have a different meaning in the 30s?
What was Margot's last name?
Jones.
Well, sailor.
You're meeting Margot now.
Oh, yes.
How you doing?
Charmed indeed.
I may have to.
And this is... What's your name? I forget.
Lieutenant Malumko.
Yeah. Blanco.
Nice to meet you,
Of the gendarme.
sir. Yes, sir. Nice to know you, sir.
Likewise, I'm sure.
We'll see, sir.
I spend the next 2 hours bringing Reggie up to
Yes.
speed about our situation.
Quite like a
and
compliment.
our goals.
All right, so Reginald, they've told you a rather outlandish tale of
I've
mysterious
seen
cults
And whoa.
now, as a new character in Master Nyarlathotep, we've house ruled that you get some sort of advantage.
Yes.
Other than the base character.
What advantage?
Well, this is up to you. You have a
Scarecrows?
couple of choices. One, you could say you have encountered the mythos before, on some distant island or some,
Out in the South Pacific.
yes, out in the South Pacific, quite a few nasty things out there. Two, you could have great connections, especially in the military. You could easily call those favors in for certain services or that kind of thing. Or, let's see here. You could have connections in Shanghai. You could know a lot of the people, movers and shakers. I don't know. What kind of advantage would you want? I'm sort of open-ended. Yeah, no, he's okay. He's human. He's not a crazy monster.
No, I mean, he could have an artifact.
Yeah, no, or you could have an artifact.
Yeah, that's not happening.
In fact,
have a
I would say,
that's a lightning
but
gun,
first off, you guys have to prove to him that this is real. So there are a few ways to become obvious. One would be to use the lightning gun. Like, this is a weapon beyond all.
Wait, do we still have the celestial periscope?
The device, that folded up. Yeah, sure, if you want it. You could have him go on a trip, a magical trip.
No.
Treasure cat grin.
Well, I'm not talking about at
I'm not
least
giving
opening, not using it, just letting it unfold again.
Yeah,
But
I would say the
there you
lightning
go.
guns were more impressive.
Do we have to actually fire the lightning gun? In
I would say so. Yeah,
That would
just
be
fire it into the air or something. So it would be one charge off of
But
it.
won't it burn through a wall, go through
Well,
into the lightning, and
No,
increase our
that's like-
wanted rating?
Yeah, that's like a free bump to heat.
That's exactly what Ross is suggesting.
Well, you would believe everything you say if you saw that happen. Like,
could I just have him hold my eye?
I don't know.
Or he could just remain skeptical until we have a
you could
legitimate
remain skeptical.
reason to use the
Down
word.
Until you see a god.
All right,
Yeah,
fine. But it does sound, at the very least, that you trust Sulan that there is something going on.
Yes.
Certainly, Shanghai is the city for nefarious ne'er-do-wells doing bad things.
Yeah. I did pick adventure for my drive, and it's been rather calm around here since
And
some
certainly you
business
could-
about a bar last spring.
And certainly you could easily... now, of course, because you guys waited 5 days, it is now, let's see here, June
First.
So guess what happened yesterday?
Tell us, Ross.
Draymond sent a missive to France.
Sun Yat-sen on the May 30th movement. Let's see here.
Oh, crap. crap.
So, Sun Yat-sen, father of modern China, helped bring down the Qing Empire, founded the Nationalist Party, the KMT, and strove for unified China. In February 1925, he was invited to Peking to negotiate with it to end the Civil War. But let's see here. But on March 12th, just outside Peking, and before the meeting started, he suddenly died of cancer. The National Outpouring of Grief thrust the KMT into an interesting struggle. Eventually won by Chiang Kai-shek, but that hasn't happened yet. And saw a surge in strikes and protests, especially against foreign companies and concessions. Shanghai bore the heavy brunt of this anger. On May 15th, the protest at the Shanghai cotton mill ended with a striker shot dead by its Japanese foreman. Demonstrations escalated, and on the morning of May 30th, students marched into the international settlement to express their anger. And I will say, Sulan's house is sort of on the western edge of proper Shanghai.
And probably going to be torched.
No, not necessarily. There's still a lot of police.
Oh, that won't matter.
We support the student body.
Let's see here.
That's not why.
Some of the ringleaders were
I know.
swiftly arrested and held at Luza police station, around which a sizable crowd gathered to demand their release. Being a race day, only skeleton staff were on duty. The road was soon choked with thousands of Chinese, Sikh, and Chinese S&P officers formed a picket on the station steps, but this only incited the crowd. When it began to chant, "Kill the foreigners!" and scuffles broke out, a police inspector responded by demanding the crowd disperse. Seconds later, 3:37 p.m., the picket opened fire. 4 Chinese died right there and 4 more died. Other protests were soon. Word of the shooting spread like wildfire. That night, the Chinese council called for a citywide strike and boycotts of all foreign businesses. In response, the foreign settlements declared a state of emergency. Stores and departments closed, coal became scarce, and the dock went on strike. Once again, the West, something to aspire to was China's villain. Strikes spread to every foreign concession in China. But by August, electricity cut off, blah, blah, blah. Shanghai's business forced back to work. Clampdown.
It's going to be a rough summer.
It's going to be a rough summer. Now, I will say it is not, your house is not on fire, fortunately. You did hear the screaming and the shouting outside. I will say you guys were so concerned with recovering your sanity, it didn't even really register. You were so
stability.
Yeah, stability. You've been so just overwhelmed with what's happened so far. And for you're actually one of the reasons why you show, because you're concerned for Sulan's safety. And you could have easily shown up with a detachment of a couple of S&P policemen to help.
Yes.
Cannon fodder.
Yes.
Yay.
Well, they're just here to escort you back and forth. Although you'd have to call in a favor to have them stationed outside the house.
Right. So in light of that, would that devalue taking
Heat?
No.
Oh.
Would that devalue taking well-connected in Shanghai as my bonus? Or
In
am I just
well-connected
so
Shanghai means
effing awesome
would be that you know certain factions, and you can get meetings with them even during the clampdown. So it would still be extremely valuable. So if you want British naval connections or Shanghai city connections, but either way, you'll know everybody worth knowing in one of those circles.
I think I would rather. I mean, of the two, I think I'd rather have the Shanghai connections. Everybody have a different thought. I'm open to persuasion. But.
Well, as long as we can still get a ship easily.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, if you want naval access, that would be the way to go.
That's why I put 2 in bureaucracy.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, that can help. Yeah,
Okay.
make a case.
Actually, if we wanted to go that far, the piloting cherry
Yeah.
Once per adventure, you may ask the keeper to introduce a, so for piloting it says a plane,
Yeah.
but...
Yeah, you could get a ship.
Yeah.
But there's ships. You could get a ship, or you could get, with your connections, you could get ships, as in plural.
Do we get submarines?
They do exist.
They do exist. Do the British have them by the 1920s?
Yes.
Okay. That would
very
Anyone would it?
Well, okay, so they're not very good.
Yeah. But still. So yeah, no, the more you put into one area, the more you're going to get out of it. So if you want submarines, that would be having connections and spending your
We're in a
so,
very leaky underwater coffin.
this is up to you, and you don't know what yet, so you have to make it.
I think I'm more into the Shanghai connections.
Okay. So you know, and you would have also knowledge of all the major factions and what their goings-ons.
I feel like that could be relevant.
Oh yeah, definitely. In fact, one that you just this morning, a revolutionary group called New China shot a traitor, left his body in the streets, and declared, yes, China for the Chinese, essentially. So yes, Clampdown. You guys can still move around, and also that doesn't mean the nightclubs and casinos aren't closed. In fact, they're doing great business because you can't leave during curfew. So, well, you're not supposed to. So, will you go into curfew at dusk, or you go in the casino at dusk and you stay until dawn? So, yeah,
20s.
and you can certainly sneak around during the clampdown, and certainly with you would know, some of the more popular clandestine ways to get around the city, like the sewers and whatnot. So, so you have some concerns, and yeah. So you've been brought up to speed on the basics, and the basics are essentially that there's this cult that's going to do something at Grey Dragon Island. Now, do you have any skills that would let you figure out where Grey Dragon Island is?
Geology?
Geology. I'd allow geology. For 0 points,
Law?
No, law, Grey Dragon Island is unclaimed. You've heard of Grey Dragon. British naval maps have charted it. It is 300 miles off the coast of Shanghai on atop a reef atoll.
East?
Southeast, yeah.
Okay.
History, do you have any background information on it? Or?
You would have to go out of your Sulon's house.
So, what is... You were saying geology?
Geology would give you more information if you wanted to figure out more about it. But you know approximately where it is. Yeah. Where to pull in, what's on the island, or what.
But there's a network.
Yeah, it is
of
a reef
caves.
atoll, what?
Network of underwater caves.
Well, that would be to let you know if there is one, if anyone has discovered something like that. So that would be a point spent if you want to do that. But to reiterate the basic plot, the cult, which you guys have, I would assume by now know the name of the cult in Shanghai is the Order of the Bloated Woman. That's the answer we're looking for. Order of the Bloated Woman. So they are doing something on Grey Dragon Island, and you don't know exactly what, but this is some ritual that will end the world, apparently, or end civilization. It's very cataclysmic, and you have a couple of leads into this. One thing you could read Robert Huston's 600-page manuscript, The Gods of Reality. You guys were just convalescing as you had not wanted to take a break from work, so none of you touched the manuscript. You didn't want to dive right into the crazy man's cramped handwriting.
Although, if they show it to me as proof of here's what's going on,
Here, read this.
I generally believe it as ever since the war, there's plenty of crazy going around.
Yeah.
But if they want to try to
you guys
convince me,
you could spend another week.
Supernatural.
So I'll give you a summary of that. But your basic leads are the Stumbling Tiger Bar, which Jackson Elias had the matchbook of, I believe. Which is on 10 Lantern Street, near the Bund, I believe, the river. Double check. Then you have the photo of a ship. You have part of its name. The rest of it was so you could try and figure out what the ship's name is, who owns it, that kind of thing.
What part did we have?
I
suppose I
I
can
thought we
pull out
had part of the location.
The what?
Was that the one where we...
You knew it was
In
taken in
Australia?
Shanghai because there were junks in the
okay.
background, but you didn't. Let's see.
There's also the Ivory Wind. Might be there.
The Ivory Wind has gone to Shanghai before. You know that. Let's see.
What was the? But that was the like cargo transport.
Yeah.
And like
The first three letters are of the ship, which is some kind of yacht, is DAR.
Darlington?
We don't have ships out this far. And the last yacht, we were banned from yachts when we sunk the last one off.
And the
coast of
other
Africa.
lead that you've gotten
Just
from
for
numerous
the
places,
splash.
most recently Australia, is that the network of cultists have been shipping objects to each other, shipments, various crates, including strange machinery. And one of the addresses located is Ho Feng Imports, which is located in Shanghai.
Let's go towards the place.
Well, that is a choice you could do. So that would certainly raise your heat unless you were to frame.
No, we normally have a good track record with warehouses.
This is true. You
Good. We have
We
a
have a
track
track
record
record.
with warehouses.
I don't know the one
With one guy.
in Mombasa. You guys did pretty well.
Yeah,
Mombasa.
we didn't do horrible in whatever part of Australia that was.
Cudgery? No.
Yeah, tiny McTownsville.
No, Darwin, I think. So yes, you could. Yeah, you guys you have been doing
We're
pretty well.
pretty good with warehouses.
So
Favorite territory warehouse.
aren't okay. You'll have to forgive me here because I'm not,
Sure.
completely up on how things work. But don't you normally Isn't there normally some sort of registry of ships
Yes.
that are okay? Well,
You'd have to go there and dig through that.
Well, but
okay.
wouldn't he have Shanghai connections for the registry?
Yeah, you could. You could.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
could do
that's-
it. Yeah, I'm saying you could. It's just you would. And
Does
I
he
would
have to go
say
there, or could he send a missile?
right now,
somebody bring the registry to us?
you have been going to Sulan's house for some time, for a week or so, because you said you were reading Gods of Reality. So your heat is also one. So people will be. You guys are persons of interest. Certainly, Sulan's name is on some lists after the events of Shanghai Bullets.
Weird.
And you're a known associate. So, that could be your first action, is to figure out what the real name of that ship is. And then you could take it there. So, what about everyone else? And I will, first off, actually, I should read up Gods of Reality, give you a little summary of it.
Yes.
Gods of Reality. It's a thick, over 600 pages manuscript. It is handwritten, standard letter-size paper. They're frequently, the pages are individually numbered. There are frequently strange diagrams of unusual-looking devices have been drawn into the margins. Let's see here. You can skim it, or you can give it a thorough reading.
I'll read it.
Okay.
I mean, one doesn't preclude the other, right?
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
skim it first.
Yeah. So skimming it. According to the cover, this book contains the philosophical wisdom of Dr. Robert Huston, which you know is a member of the Carlisle expedition and is now lost in time and space, and dead in a
Being killed over
Time
and over
tunnel.
Yes.
and over and over.
He claims that he has achieved wisdom greater than has ever been possessed in the history of man through the aid of a mystical being he refers to as the universal, or sometimes cosmic or divine syzygy. SYZ.
No, I know what
YGY.
syzygy.
Yeah.
Okay, but for the rest of us,
Yeah. It's not explained here. It's just that's what he calls him. I've heard the term before, but I can't remember the source.
SYZ what now?
SYZYGY. Huston's claims are
Likely to
hard.
be eaten by grooves?
Something like that. Huston's claims are hard to substantiate as the work is disorganized, convoluted, and needlessly cryptic. This might be caused by the fact, as Huston suggests, readers who have not transcended primitive modes of thought cannot begin to understand the truth he claims to reveal. It might be due to the fact that the author is a raving, bombastic, megalomaniac lunatic.
So, doctoral candidate.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Gnosticism.
He discusses something called the Master Plan and the activities in the great and ancient city towards the murky end. If you read the whole thing, which will take a week, you can give me a stability check.
Done.
Okay.
6.
Okay. You're fine.
critted.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're like, yeah, whatever. This work represents the collective wisdom of Dr. Huston, late of New York. His goal in writing this is to explain to his readers the truth of reality, that all human understanding is not just hopelessly wrong, but inevitably so due to our fundamentally flawed human mindset. It is only through transcending our primitive human way of thinking that individuals may begin to understand the fundamental universal truths that underpin reality. In doing so, we perceive reality as the gods do and thus become like them. He claims to have came to this transhuman genius through the guidance of the universal syzygy, the embodiment of the self-aware facets of the universe, a limitlessly wise and powerful God whose greatness cannot be understood by primitive thinkers. This God has gone through many names, such as Nyarlathotep, the Black Pharaoh, this Father Sandbat. Aaron is shaking his head. Well,
Charge up the lightning gun. Let's go.
Let's see here. Unfortunately, the text is nearly incomprehensible in its arguments, and Barry's presented proof of Huston's claims under an avalanche of self-aggrandizement, biographical trivia, weird scientific minutiae. There's 10 pages on.
So he's tenured fact.
Yes. But endless, nearly endless digressions where Huston examines some facet of human culture, history, and brings his unique genius, dissects it. Let's see here. Scattered throughout the text.
Hey, he hasn't yet said that it's misogynistic.
Yes. Are asides and comments. Yeah, he seems to be pretty like all humans are dirt. So unless they're with the universal syzygy. He does muse on the great task in conjunction with a few rarely mentioned allies. All formerly part of the Carlisle expedition, although Ho Fung is referenced a few times and Omar Shakti once. As far as can be discerned, certain collective ritual actions combined with various astronomical alignments, including a solar eclipse, will alter the very fabric of the world at a particular location in the central Indian Ocean. This changed place. Huston calls it the Great Gate, will allow the universal syzygy to fully enter into the world in a physical form and begin its rule over all things. Yeah. His primary assignments, despite his claims of solo importance, he is clearly working at the behest of his allies, are twofold. The first is to procure technological information from a magically bound being, supposedly from the ancient pre-human past. He clearly relishes his domination of the creature, whom he decries as being arrogant and willful. The second assignment is
one to talk.
Yeah,
takes one.
Yeah, is to ritually prepare by certain enchantments and numerous human sacrifices certain statues before the opening of the Great Gate. The date is January 14th, 1926. It ends abruptly, as though it was still being written, and someone interrupted the author.
Shocker.
So you'll never get...
Lightning gun shocker.
Yeah. So there is a ritual in it. There's actually a few. One is to contact the universal syzygy.
Nope.
And
we'll pass on that.
One is to control the thinking of a lesser being.
Mind control.
Yeah,
that's worked out really well.
Well, also,
and the other is to bring a ancient being from the past into the present.
Yithians.
Yeah. We really don't need to piss them off.
Yeah. But they're the only people that are on your side.
Yeah.
Like,
we can call them the Lamplighters. They are our friends.
The who?
The Lamplighters.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're working for the Yithians, so yeah.
Right.
Can we?
So you get quite a bit of information about it, and you realize the 3 points, the Mountain of the Black Wind, the city of the Great Race, and Grey Dragon Island form a triangle, and in the center of that triangle is this point, so that's what they're going for. The Great Gate will open in that area.
Final boss battle unlocked.
Yeah, well...
Da, 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 da.
Well, that's the bad ending. That's what will happen in the bad ending.
Right.
You guys don't stop.
Well, but we now have a map point for the navel of the world, and we can go fight the 6 dragons.
The 5-headed dragon Tiamat. No.
Yeah. If you want to go, pick a fight with...
So we just wander into the arbitrary...
the Universal syzygy just sounds like a great god, man. I wonder...
Actually, it sounds like some absurd business practice that you have to read at a training workshop or something.
Yeah, no, clearly the mythos is just a pyramid scheme. Multi-level
That
marketing.
actually makes sense.
The synergy of the syzygy, isn't it?
Come over the table.
So
Right there.
let's see here, Bill. You're going to go to the ship register,
Yes.
and go find out about the the dark ship. Oops. Well, you'll find that out. Actually, what skills do you want to use for that?
Well, what? I can't just get in there on the basis of.
No, they will let you in.
Okay.
There's no computer. You can't just type in DAR and find it. You have
Right.
to. You get search through some documents in order to figure it out.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't take library use, but what about law?
Law would work.
Okay.
So
Does that spend?
Or do you want me to come along with you since I have libraries?
I will. You can choose. You can get it. You can get the name for free. You can get more information if you make a spend.
Well, in that case, I will go ahead and spend that.
All right.
Do I need to make heat first?
What? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead and give me a
And does
roll
that
for heat.
vary based on how many of us go? I'm
No,
sorry,
it's
I
just
know you
once per group.
explained, but okay.
Yeah, it's one per group.
Well, I would say, do you want me to
You
come
wanna
along
come
with you so we can
along,
spend? Okay. So you can roll for us, I guess.
Yes, I am.
Well, okay.
Because Ross
Heed.
picked it up with his right hand.
No problem.
Yeah. No, it's only per group. Yeah. See, well, Aaron
It came out okay.
Yeah.
But it didn't
When it
matter.
counts.
That's why it came out okay.
You go out during the day. You can hear riots in the distance, or
Go away from the riot.
Yeah, no. Demonstrations, shouting. You
Know my
know,
way around.
by now it's about June 5th. I would say you guys have read the book. You've convalesced enough. You're starting to figure out what's going on and what your plans are going to be. So you get to the. Let's see.
I guess I could have moved before you.
The harbor master's office.
Yes.
And you know him, and he lets you in, and you don't have to make any spends to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So you make a check the registry, and you realize even though this is it is a British registry, which is unusual because the owner. Let's see here. You find out a few things.
It's Nyarlathotep's boat.
Yeah.
Make a sanity.
It is. I'm trying to find out. It is registered to Hofong, so which is unusual that a Chinese man would have a ship of British registry.
Do we have the full name of the ship now, or
The Dark Mistress.
Dark Mystery? That's not ominous.
That has nothing to do with the Order of the Bloated Woman at all.
No.
It is a trim, well-appointed 90-foot yacht of British registry. You also, with your point, it is of late 19th century naval architecture.
Library use?
But you do note that the harbor master has noted that there were upgrades to it recently. You notice that they in terms of its value, it's been appraised at a higher value.
Has a fusion reactor for some reason.
Or an outboard motor.
Yeah.
It is the 20s. That would be an upgrade.
You also realize that there is a. Let's see here. So it's the general. Letters are occasionally addressed to a person on the Dark Mistress, but they are routed to Ho Feng's warehouse for an Alfred Pinhurst, who occasionally is on the ship, gets letters, and they are routed to the warehouse.
Wait. Oh, no, not Penhue.
No, Pinhurst.
Would a library use check give any more information?
You not here, not at the harbor masters.
Okay.
Would sticking a gun in somebody's nose give us more information?
You're not there.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say that in fact, you just missed the ship. It just left yesterday. So,
That's how it goes. So I
it usually
suppose
goes
that
out for about a week and comes back. So that's
Okay.
everything you
Okay.
get with it.
I suppose that means we have the address for Hofong Imports now.
Yes.
Not that would have been hard to get, but we got it.
You have it.
Ancillary.
You have another
It
point.
is-
It is address at address.
Okay.
It is. Let me find out.
Well, I can just put down location known. I didn't know if you
Yeah.
had it handy.
It is in Little Japan near the Bund on the eastern side. Which is actually near Lantern Street, near the bar.
Stumbling Tiger Bar?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you do speak Japanese.
Yes, Shanghai is also
That's
basically
language,
a Tower of Babel. Dozens of languages are spoken here.
Yeah.
And there are 3 major dialects of Chinese: Cantonese, Mandarin, and Shanghaiese. And most, Suan, you speak all 3. You know how to get around, as well as other languages. But talking with a working class Chinese person here would definitely be Shanghaiese. Talking with a government official would be Mandarin. Talking with a businessman would be Cantonese. So if you have that language, you can still speak because most people will speak at least enough English to get around, to get basic ideas around. But if you speak that language, you can make language spins to basically replicate any other interpersonal skill. To guys give you a bonus for knowing the language and the culture. Because otherwise, language is kind of like you either have it or the adventure breaks down. So I want to give guys a possible bonus for actually,
Languages in RPGs.
Yeah, not handled the best. So you can get back. You don't have to make another heat spin to get back. So.
Okay, that's nice of you.
It's per trip. And certainly heat for this would also count for clampdown stuff. Maybe not someone targeting you. You just get in between, some demonstrators get between you and your goal or something like that. So you find the address of that. So what do you guys want to do? You guys can plan. You have multiple leads at this point. It's a matter of figuring. Overall, your goal is obviously to get to Great Dragon Island and take out whatever's there. But the more what you could, but if you would, how are you going to get to the island? Like he could get a ship, but but
not knowing what we're going to face.
I will say going to the Great Dragon Island. Well, it's
not in port right now.
It's not necessarily a point of no return, but depending on how you approach it, it's out there.
And
it's a day and a half on a fast ship, 3 days on a slower ship.
When will the Dark Mistress be in port? Because we could
probably in about a week.
That.
Yeah, you could
or
stake it out.
Find out maybe what's going on first before we
No, that gives us time to find out what's happening before we hijack the Dark Mistress, which would be the perfect cover.
Or you could sneak aboard it.
Let's make sure that we actually need to go out there before we go there.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to go out there. It's Ross.
Yeah, one. Not necessarily.
If
so basically,
you really want to
we could
metagame that
go
hard.
to the bar or to the Pokemon import.
Or we could surveil either of them.
Well,
Let's split the group and then have.
Let's go fun.
Two heat tricks. Actually, I would allow just one. That's kind of mean to him.
Okay. Here's a question. So you were saying that Hofong Imports is near Lantern Street?
Yes. I have a map, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So near, perhaps, that it might actually be...
Actually, I guess you guys can look at it, because they're all public places, and there's no real information. So, Lantern
All the secret tunnels are underground.
I'll just put a little X where Sulan is. Sulan is over here, in the western side. Lantern Street is over here on the eastern side, and Hofong's is over there, so I'll pass that around.
Okay, so it's not on it near enough that it could be reasonable for one person to own
Oh, no.
Hofong.
Shanghai is the 5th largest city in the world.
Well, but I was just asking in terms of scale.
It's just the Hofong's warehouse. It's not like an Amazon warehouse. It's just it's large, but it's not all-encompassing cancer. That
I was thinking more in terms of. Yes, he owns the import building. Oh, by the way, he owns the bar. Right. Oh, by the way, he owns the building.
We could go to his house instead.
Hofong is a publicly known person. He is a businessman. You could a 0 point.
We could raid his house.
A 0 point research.
Maybe when he's not.
Actually, no. You know him. You already know him. You have Shanghai connections. You already know Hofong. He's a prominent businessman.
Yeah.
We could raid his house under cover of
an unusually high number of contacts within the international and French concession. He knows a lot of foreigners.
And obviously, if he's involved in this mess, whatever this mess is. It's got to have something to do with that.
So no, he is an independent businessman, as far as you can know. Runs an import business. Does quite well for himself, and he doesn't, maybe be the wealthiest. Well, not the wealthiest Chinese person in the city. That would be the Big Ears, the leader of the Green Gang.
Previously encountered.
Yes.
Although they're not far apart.
No, they aren't.
Interestingly.
And that little stretch along the river is called the Bund.
Well, there could be some sort of tunnel network underneath it if they're trying to smuggle anything.
Do you have architecture, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You've seen Hofong's mansion, and you know its location. In fact, you would know that
I could potentially set a meet with him if I had some sort of reasonable means.
Some pretext, yeah.
Yeah, some pretext.
In fact, since you have architecture as well, I'll give you this for free because it's entertaining. There is you know that there are vents underneath the house where people can put ice or put heated air, and you could try to.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a 1920s air duct.
This is a thing that the Masks and Nyarlathotep.
Glad Caleb's not here. He would just.
I don't know.
That could probably work.
Honestly, yeah.
I can understand it.
I mean, I would assume that the air ducts in a pre-1920s construction.
Yeah, that many houses like Hofung's have vents beneath them in which ice could be poured or hot air ventilated as a crude form of central heating. A smaller investigator, like Sulong or Margot or Lydia, I'd say it's up to the men if they want to say if they're smaller size or not. Or you could hire a street urchin who climb down there.
That'll take the heat off us.
Yeah. So you could do that, and there is actually a little very low resolution photo of what the mansion would look like, which I will show here. It's very pixelated.
fancy.
Yes, he is very wealthy, and it's a very large mansion, and it is in the French settlement.
And you said these vents are underneath the house, correct?
Yes, to get air up in them.
What?
Dynamite.
That seems a little excessive for now.
No, let's just burn everything.
Hey, there are riots going on. Who's going to notice?
Well, his house
gain us
would,
anything though.
his house would have bodyguards and certainly servants. So if there's a fire, they would be quickly.
And also, if there's any information that we do need in the house,
There's that, too.
Probably we shouldn't even
we
be
get the
setting it to
information and then we
flame.
blow it up.
Well,
I suppose I can't pull off the pretend to be a servant thing here.
Probably not here.
nope.
That won't work.
No. This is true.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking so far, and some of this is stating the obvious, but alright, so having a yacht that's named the Dark Mistress when we're looking for connections to cults, to the Order of the Bloated Woman, kind of sounds like a connection to me. So I would say since we're not pressed for time, let's maybe try to stake out... I'm not sure about the bar, but his warehouse to see if they're doing any kind of culty meeting stuff there. I know this hasn't worked exceedingly well, but it would be really great to try to turn somebody in the cult. So first we would have to identify someone, then we would have to get some leverage on them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the bar might be fruitful in one way because it's pure speculation, but there may be workers who are not cult members who might see something or weird or two going to the bar to drink their sorrows away and might be more willing to give information to us. So,
Or might be easy to bribe.
true. So,
Yeah, okay.
With
But there's nothing that says we can't do both either.
Right.
You know the Stumbling Tiger Bar is a puzzle bar. Lots of intrigue goes in there.
I know you've told us, although it's been several
it's,
months ago, what a puzzle bar was.
Puzzle bars are essentially places where spies and criminals and those kind of people go to look for information. This is the stereotypical, hey bartender, what do you know? Kind of thing, and they kind of it's called the puzzle bar specifically because there's sort of innuendo and oblique references, so the bartender doesn't get shot.
think opening scene of Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
I was thinking more
Yes,
that
let's
the
do
name
this
of the bar
thing.
was
Nothing can go
Puzzles,
wrong.
and that was the puzzle.
The what?
What?
I was thinking more that the name of the bar was Puzzles, and that was the puzzle.
But don't.
we need to start up a new pun.
That wasn't a pun.
A new bad
It's just how I met your mother.
A new bad
Reference.
joke.
Yes.
A new referential bad
New
joke.
bad
pun.
pop culture reference.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so, we were all going to go bang chicks in Ted's room.
Wow. All right. Moving on.
Rolling.
D-
Oh, yeah, by the way, what other weapons did you guys bring with you aside from the lightning guns?
Do we need any other weapons besides lightning guns?
Yes. You don't have more lightning bullets to put in the lightning gun.
Well, that's the
What
thing
else
about
did you
lightning
have?
guns. They're not concealable. Like they're large, bulky,
I
two-handed.
still have that bow thing, and I have my
oh yeah,
three.
you have a bow, which
I
is
have
awesome.
3 throwing knives.
Okay, you have 3
I
throwing.
have
I think-
a revolver, shotgun, and daggers.
Okay, all right.
And I still have the shotgun too.
I still have a machete, 2 flares, and a gun.
Okay. All right. I just want to know. I just want to get a sense.
I have a service pistol and
Yeah.
probably a long
Yeah,
arm
actually, you would
befitting
also
a,
know that firearms permits have skyrocketed since the demonstration.
Fortunately, I already had mine. And
Yes. Oh, yeah.
a few to spare. Temporary permits for friends of mine to come.
That would be a
visiting
point
go
spent
and
to get those,
That's fine.
to have previously gotten those.
or to make them or to get them after these new friends show up.
No. I have a few held in reserve for friends
That would
who
definitely
come
be a
in
point
for
spent.
hunting.
Yeah. That would definitely be a point spent.
In Shanghai, we go out to the country, okay?
There's
I am trying really hard to be British in China. We
No.
go out to the country and
You
go
could
hunting.
go shoot waterfowl out in
Yeah.
the swamps outside of
Okay,
the city.
so like a credit rating.
Credit
to a
rating would work.
previously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That will prevent
I say,
your
old
heat
chap,
from
surely
rising.
you can hand me some of those, and
If
I'll
you get
just
stopped
fill
by
in
the
the names
police.
later.
Yeah, if you fail a heat check, it's not necessarily the end of the world. You could just be stopped and searched.
Yeah.
So the plan is to go to the bar, Stumbling Tiger, or
Cookies?
oh yes, bribe the game master. An excellent choice.
And now we present Dead Air with
While
occasional
we eat.
punching.
We can still play, like we're still talking.
Whoa.
Flashing the game master negates the bribing, so it all balances out.
So could we pay you a cookie to relieve the heat?
Maybe.
Okay.
I like this system.
All right, so Stumbling Tiger Bar or Dark Mistress? What were you thinking?
Or we could split up.
There's eventually going to be a tunnel that we can meet each other.
Well, the thing is, you actually do both because Stumbling Tiger Bar you can just go in at any time. The Dark Mistress is sort of an extended thing because you have to stake it out because you.
I wasn't talking about the Dark Mistress. I was talking about the
warehouse.
Oh, warehouse. Sorry, yeah.
But I mean, what do we think about, like, here's the deal. I'm not feeling particularly time pressed. Why not, spend a couple of days, investigate Darlington's hunch, see if employees from the warehouse go to the bar. And at that point, we can, approach one of them in the bar.
Okay. So that would be a heat check for the group and a group shadowing check. Because that is a skill in the game. But we have not used much because you're actually not just being sneaky, you're trying to follow someone while being sneaky, which is a different thing than just hiding.
Does anybody have shadowing?
No.
I have 6 points of shadowing.
Oh, Margot for the win. All right, so Margot, you can basically tell these dummies what to do. Does anybody else have shadowing?
I do.
All right. So first off, a heat check. You have to use the highest members group, so it'll be a 2. All right. Barely.
No problem.
So far, so good. And,
I am a cop, so
well, that's one of the reasons why you might be stopped. Is like, hey, why are you? Why are you here? Why are you in our jurisdiction?
Scotland Yard.
Well, for
Great.
Same
No.
question.
yeah, exactly. Remember, there's multiple police forces too, so the French police might be kind of curious about it, or the Japanese, or because you are near the Japanese section of town.
Well, little Japan.
Will people not like us because we're foreigners and there's all this stuff going on?
Some of them will not. Yes, you're doing this during the daytime, I assume, going towards evening. There's a curfew at 6 p.m. You would know most businesses shut down at 5, so all the workers will be fine. So you have a narrow window of opportunity. So you show up like around 4:30 to watch this. And so, group shadowing check, all of you can spend, or in this case, Margot and Sulan can spend. Yeah.
Plan, you roll, and I'll contribute 1.
Okay, I'll do 2.
Roll away.
So we have 7.
All right, 7. Yeah, no, easily. Working together as a team and following Margot's and Sulan's instructions, you guys watch the stream of workers file out of the warehouse. Watching the ones that go towards the direction of the bar of Stumbling Tiger to the south. And you keep walking along that direction, watching the estates. Many of them turn off certain streets. And eventually, you see 2 of them heading for the bar. They go in.
We go in after them? No?
Yeah.
Another day.
Okay.
So you've identified both of them.
Just wait it. Wait it out, see the pattern.
Slow roll. Well, I'm not
Okay.
even concerned about a pattern. Just,
Come back the next day?
yeah.
Okay, you don't have to make another shadowing check for day 2, since, you know...
We're not shadowing them anymore. You know what they look like.
Okay. So you don't have to do that. So it's a group... so your next day is just to wait at the bar? Mm-hmm. Okay.
We're inside the bar
Right.
waiting for the 2.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we want to chat them up. Okay. Here is my overall plan. So we haven't done too well so far with just snatch and grabbing cult members and trying to get stuff out of them. But I figure these guys are relatively locals. So once we get a positive ID, we actually trace them back and try to find. We try to grab them by the short and hairy somehow, whether that's family, whether that's something of value.
So do you want to approach them at the bar, or do you want to follow them home?
We don't know whether or not these guys are cult members. We just know they're guys. Okay, so we're trying to get a lead on information inside the warehouse. From
Right.
the warehouse, hopefully, we can make a jump to cult. Once we don't have a positive cult ID yet. These guys might be cultists, in which case things are really kind of screwed. But nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
But so you don't want to wait and get the leverage before we approach them?
That's a fair point. I guess we could do that as a backup. So the
But
next
we
day
need their
we should
names
just
first. How are we going to get the names of
No,
them
just
first?
follow
follow
them
them
home.
home.
Well,
Find out if they,
How do
live
we
with
know if
grandma
that's their
or...
home?
let's see.
Well, they're
Where
calling
else
home.
are they going?
Or another
They could
option
be going
too.
to a place like Sulan's.
Well, but
In
we're
which
only
case,
going to
there's
know
still
that until
someone
we follow.
Or another way we can do this is one of us can approach them if you want to, Sulan or myself or Margot. Use flattery, try to talk them up, and then see if we can notice if they have any of the bloated woman tattoos around their either arms or...
The Order of the Bloated Woman. Yeah, what do you guys know about that? Not much.
It's a
right?
thing.
Yeah,
We know
it
that.
exists.
We know the
All right.
tattoos.
Yeah,
so.
we know the mark. And
Yeah.
how
Does
to make the mark.
anyone have
They
anything to
do
spend
they
on?
have a mark? I know the other cults.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
used it. Remember
I
okay.
marked myself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
So we do know it, and
I thought that
spend an art,
Australia.
I can spend an art and see if we can.
I thought that
replicate
was
it,
the
in the temporary
Kenyan
tattoo.
Bloody Tongue.
It was
No,
No,
we did
no.
Bloated Woman.
It was
Okay.
bloated.
It's bloated
We've
woman
done
that we
it more
use.
than
So
one.
Yeah.
We've
Okay.
done it several times.
Okay, well, I thought
it's a standard by now.
I'm mixing up my Nyarlathotep cult. Weird.
What with there being so many of them?
Yes. All right. So yeah, you know the mark. You could easily search, or you can make a sense trouble check in the bar. You could actually do it for all the workers if you just walked through them as they're leaving work. That would obviously be a.
I have a huge sense trouble pool.
I think that's a
and
good
I get
move.
the cherry if I overspend.
Right.
It
Well,
might be because
okay.
of clothes.
There is nothing in that pool that you probably want that you can use the cherry points on that you probably want to at that junction.
Good point.
Can you say blown up?
All right, so what's the plan?
Sense
He's
trouble
just
the
going to
pool.
swim upstream through the
Okay.
workers leaving and trying to find one.
Bill's very poetic.
Oh, no, they're going
Natural.
north. Yeah, the Hopong is right on the water, and land.
Okay, either way,
So
I'm
they'd be
swimming
going-
upstream of the workers.
I got to mix up. So, anyways, by the way, the warehouse is a large brick building on the north bank of the river. It has at least a portion of the warehouses, but you've watched it for some time, so you realize that a portion of the warehouse is built on a wooden pier or wooden pilings. A stout peaked roof of tile fends off the rain. 5 sets of large doors along the sides of the building give access to the high-ceilinged storage area, and 2 stories of low-ceilinged offices face the street. All of the windows are at least 7 feet from the ground, and iron grills cover them. You saw a guard locking up after the workers left with a padlock.
They've cottoned to how hard we hit warehouses.
Yeah. Well, it's also a very
hard
large
now.
city, and there's civil unrest.
Nope, totally because of the
Oh
party.
no, yeah, clearly it's all you.
It's always
Did you
bad.
hear what happened in the
Well,
one in
actually, it's open
Australia?
until 6 p.m. Let's see
Okay.
here. You estimate the workforce to be about 30 men. And yeah.
Okay, swim upstream since trouble.
Alright, so first off, give me a shadowing check to walk like you're normal. Margot can help. That's the other thing.
And you want to spend some stuff for...
She'd have to walk with you as you're walking, as a couple. We're just normal people walking down the street.
Me and my daughter.
Yes, exactly.
Like my students thought.
No.
Still don't understand that.
Don't take
8
it
months
personally.
apart.
Yeah.
I do take it personally. But anyway.
Anyways.
All right,
You do
sure.
the shadowing and I'll do the sense trouble.
Okay. Well, she can do both. I mean,
Well, I have more sense trouble than
I
she.
well, you
still
can
10
individually
Oh.
make them.
Just a quick note to super indulge in paranoia.
Yeah.
You guys should start out at some point where one of the other party members is standing. You should go to a point prearranged where one of the other party members is standing, so we can, counter surveil.
Yeah.
See
Okay.
if while doing that you're being followed.
All right.
Done. Okay, so
Alright.
you do the
So I'll
shadowing?
spend 2. So you got 4.
Oh yeah. Also, give me a heat. This is a separate day. Separate
Okay,
action.
so the heat 2,
Okay.
it's less than is the
It's
problem?
equal. So-
Okay, problem.
Anyways,
And I
go
will
on.
spend 2 on the sense trouble
Yeah.
and get a 5.
Okay. You actually spot several marks, at least 5 among the workers. You didn't see all.
That's a convenient number.
At least 5. In some there were partial, but there are numerous cultists.
So my
and-
heat goes up.
So here's what happens. We'll actually determine that. So you walk your way through the crowd. Some of them kind of like, ugh, give you surly looks. But
And I squint back at them with my evil eye.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
yeah, you're not using the eye, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm done with the eye.
but is it done with you?
We'll see. So, as you do that, though, you see a man in a Japanese police uniform walk over towards you, trying to intercept you two before you walk. So, what are you going to do?
I don't speak Japanese, so
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I just
Say
act like a
greetings, sir.
crazy ass.
Oh, you
Or
say
good
that
afternoon. In
you say-
Japanese.
In Japanese. He is very surprised.
Out for a stroll to the waterfront.
I wanted to make sure you weren't lost. Where are you lodging at?
Oh, on the other side of town.
Oh, it is
I'm
getting
familiar with
close.
Shanghai. I've been here.
What is your name, miss? To make sure you get home.
Mary.
Mary,
Contrary.
what is your family name?
Steve Virgin.
Mary Goodwin.
Goodwood? All right, are you spending anything?
Sure.
A point of lying.
Reassurance.
Oh yeah, I don't roll for that one.
No.
Yeah,
just-
reassurance.
You're spending a point of reassurance. Is this is this a family member?
Hi.
This is my uncle.
Ooh, you should be one of those people who thinks people that don't speak your language will understand it if you say it louder and slower.
I'm very much enjoying this city.
He doesn't know any Japanese.
You should be very careful. You're near curfew. You would spend the night in jail if you do not go home soon.
Oh yes, remind me when curfew is. It was not in effect the last time I was in town.
No, it is in less than an hour. You need to hurry home.
Thank you for the reminder.
I will escort you to where is your home? Do you know what is the address?
I don't recall the exact address. It's over on
Then
the
how will you
side.
find it?
Well, I know
We know
those
our way.
streets by sight.
Do you know what is near your house?
There's like a hotel.
Are you staying in a hotel?
Yes.
I could call you a cab. I would pay for it. You're a cab.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be very kind of you.
Yes.
Cab drivers in big cities in Asia.
Yeah.
Let me think of it.
Yeah.
Okay, they are all members of
Majestic
cults,
Hotel.
but
The Majestic Hotel. You are staying, Mary Goodwin. You are staying at the Majestic Hotel. Very well. I will call a cab and make sure you get home safely, so you do
thank
not
you.
spend the night in jail. Please do not stay here after dark. So this is a very concerned policeman. And,
It's so kind of you.
Yes.
It was very nice meeting you.
Yes. We do not want to have. The locals here are very agitated, and they are very predisposed to violence after dark. You must be very careful.
That's good to know.
And your Japanese is very good. Where did you learn it?
In Japan.
You spent time in Japan?
I did.
Oh, where?
Okinawa.
So he keeps chatting you up, asking you questions as he's waiting for the cab. He blows on his whistle, and actually a police car comes up, and for the Japanese police, and he says, "Well, there's no cab available, but this will be free, and we'll take you to your hotel. They will see you and make sure you are safe." Okay. He's just very concerned with you. So both of you get a point of heat as the Japanese police are. Yeah. Actually, no. You spent the point of reassurance. You don't get the heat. So that's right. You made a spend, but you got to spend the rest of the night basically going to the hotel and then sneaking out. I assume to get back to where you were. So you guys are out for several hours.
Or we could just stay in the hotel for a night.
You
spend
could
the
stay
point of credit rating and then call them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could commit to commit to the con that way. So yeah, they're not going to wait overnight to make sure you check out. So yeah, you can spend the point of credit rating, stay there for the night.
I'll spend the point.
All right, so you three saw this happen.
But we saw it happen, so we know why the loop's not closed.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So you don't have that information from their characters yet. So are you just going to call a night, go back to your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my thought.
All right, so you're playing it safe.
You want to troll the bar again?
No.
Not yet.
No.
All right, so with the point of credit rating.
Incremental information.
With the point of reassurance and
time.
point of credit rating, your heat does not go up. They make a report of it, but they have no reason to believe you're anything.
Thank you for the lovely car ride.
They are. You don't know if they're just trolling for information or if they genuinely want you to make sure that a bunch of foreigners get killed on their turf, basically. Yeah.
Well, they're probably not too committed to it because they didn't check the hotel registry and find out that there was no Mary Goodwin.
Well, the driver just dropped you off, like he didn't give a shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the officer might. So.
The officer would probably check up then a day later, but because he has no further information, no extra heat.
And because we actually booked into the hotel under Mary Goodwin, we're good.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So certainly if you keep messing around the warehouse district, that might raise heat if you keep getting caught by the same policeman, because that's his turf.
Why did you keep showing? I have 5 points of disguise.
That's all right, so the next day you all rendezvous back at Sulan's house, and you find out, yes, there's the cult is definitely in the warehouse.
And we have identifying features for at least one of them.
But now you've all watched these guys leave 2 nights in a row, basically. So you can identify basically at least half of them. There's that guy with never got the dental work that he should have, and there's there's a guy who really lifts. You could tell.
Little Mo with the gimbal bag.
Bro.
Yeah.
Do you even lift?
Yeah, the big, and so on and so
forth. We're not tailing him.
There's a guy, prematurely bald. Here's the guy, with the beard, blah blah blah. So,
we make a list.
You make a list.
Oh, there's Captain Hook.
You have that information. You figured out who they are.
Okay.
At least, the cult is. So, what do you want to do with that information?
Well, okay. So from this observation, he said trolling for more information. The ones that don't go to the bar, do they just kind of disperse? In what direction are they headed? Do they all seem to...
They all seem to be heading towards the outer edges of the city where their residences would be. Some of them go to the west, which is unusual, towards the interior.
Why is that unusual?
Because that's where the more, the international settlement and the French concession are.
Are we able to correlate whether those are the cultists or not?
At least one of them is. So, one of them.
The cultists are French because I like to take down some French cultists.
But one of the dock workers who is a cultist heads towards the west, which, with the general information, the only thing you can think of is related to this would be Hofung's mansion is that direction. He could be heading there to give a report. He might be the foreman for all you know. He does look a little older.
Not try to suborn him.
So you could get one of the ones that you have not seen a cult sign on. That doesn't mean it isn't there. It's just some of them are wearing, you walk through the cloud.
Be a very special place. No?
Well, it's generally the same areas, but you know,
Really,
you were trying not. You were also trying not to look suspicious, so you couldn't like, huh? You know, it's only like you didn't have sunglasses to like creep out on them.
They're not like
Cultist tattoos are like the sun. Normally you can only look at them for a second, but if you're wearing sunglasses, you can stare at them as much as you want.
Right, well...
So it's the they live principle.
Again, most of the Chinese here are used to foreigners pretending that they're invisible. So, like, it's a foreigner actually looking at them and noticing them would be very unusual.
Weird.
Yeah. You could try and track down, go to the residences, track one down. You could, with a streetwise check, you could find where one lives, or spin.
I didn't put anything in that.
Or oral history, I love that too, because, or at least for Sulan, because she, you know, hey, what about these guys? You know, tell me about them. So gossip, you know.
Okay, so aspects we still need to pull this off is probably a place to hold a captive.
The hotel room.
Whoa.
No.
No, that's gonna be
we're going to
searched.
drag them through the lobby of the Majestic. Don't mind us. And our
Yeah,
prisoner.
do you want me, they have descriptions of the hotels here, and the Majestic is one of the nice ones. So,
Actually, it's a good one.
yeah, it is a landmark. I think it's still around. I'd have to check, but it is very posh.
Okay. Don't let me get ahead of myself. Let's go in.
Okay, so first you need an interrogation site.
Well, no. First we need.
Isn't there a
more
cemetery
reasonable
somewhere?
target.
Where's your house?
There are multiple cemeteries.
I think
Where
there's
do you
a,
live?
Under surveillance.
there's a
at this
cemetery
point, as
near
much as yours.
Sulan's house. We could
Use
That map.
a crypt.
Or do they have a large mausoleum?
There might be abandoned.
It's not.
There's the monasteries. Are those occupied?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we could use a crypt in the cemetery.
We could rent a no-tell flop house.
Yeah, you could do that.
No, we risk heat on that
We
one.
could-
For the...
If you would risk heat if you fail a stealth check to.
Yeah.
For a group of foreigners sneaking into a flop house would be highly suspicious.
What about
Sulan
the
could rent it.
pagoda?
Pagoda. I'd have to.
What?
Yeah, it's a ceremonial
Well,
site.
it's far. It's like far away.
I still like the crypt.
out of town.
No. Okay, because here's the. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a
The
named site on
the
there.
further we need the cultists to travel, the more chance they have to slip surveillance and break away and go tell the rest of the cult. We need to keep it relatively short. And obviously the threatening note at that point tells them they'll be surveilled at every point.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's see here. For spins, you could find basements in nearby buildings that you could, get the key to or break into. Or know which buildings would be occupied at this point. So you could find a building nearby that you just break, be into. Or the flop house, Sulan could rent one, and you guys would sneak in. And as long as you made your stealth checks, you wouldn't raise your heat.
Is there a synagogue in town?
Yeah, there's. You could use the basement of a synagogue. There's a noticeable Russian Jewish
I'm
expat.
curious what your angle is.
Yeah, I would,
There was a lot of superstition about Jews, so they tended to avoid them. A lot of the
pariah
authorities.
community, yeah. There are a lot of basically peddler Jewish knife sharpeners and that kind of thing. Small, tinkerers that live in Shanghai. You could point a credit rating. They could look the other way, and you could get the basement of the synagogue.
Okay. Let's not spin that until we've actually acquired a target.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
We can either throw them a crypt or a basement of a synagogue.
Right.
Or some other building. Certainly, transporting the prisoner. Probably your best idea is figure out a site near the place you're grabbing. So figure out where you're going to grab them, and then choose a site based.
Right.
Or could I use spend library use to see what buildings are currently abandoned or under refurbishment?
You could. I mean, you'd go to the government office or figure that out. That would be a daily heat check to go there without being noticed.
So, do we want to try to see if there's any other place?
There's numerous ways to spend to get this.
Right. Let's come back to that. Right now we have cultists. We need family. So we need to spend
Oral
a point
history
to,
would figure out which one has a family that you could use to apply leverage to.
We're
or
going to become the
some
bad guys if we do that.
Well, yeah.
Versus the cult that's trying to raise a god to destroy the world.
Yeah, oral history, you could figure out which of the dock workers has a weak link that you could exploit. And it could be, not necessarily.
Okay.
Not like I hurt a little kid or anything.
no, it's not about hurting anyone.
It's about threatening to hurt someone.
Right.
But that's assuming the cultists give a crap.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're spending points for. Which one of these cultists gives a crap?
Yeah.
You do hear about one worker, Tan is his common name. And he has a brother who is in jail right now. A brother that he dearly loves. They were inseparable
That's
growing up.
So much easier.
And anyone who could get someone out of the Shanghai Municipal Police holding cells, would be indebted to him, or certainly, that would be the kind of leverage. So there's that. You also find there's another one who is saving up. Let's see here. Tongue.
It's actually a thing they put in the companion.
Male first names. No, the leverage things. No,
Yeah,
I'm making
okay.
those up, but the names I'm making
Okay.
up. Tongue, his sister was sold into prostitution, and he's trying to save up to get her out. So you.
Sulan might
buy her
actually
out.
have connections in
Yeah.
that area, and so we could buy her out.
Yeah, you were very lucky in that you were high end course and you had your freedom essentially.
So at this
many
point-
girls are not that fortunate.
We've essentially got it down to spend a point of bureaucracy or credit rating to buy leverage.
I vote the credit rating, actually. That might be the more effective one.
Yeah, I
and
have
we don't
enough.
have to increase our heat by going to the police station.
True.
Yeah.
So,
Let's do that one.
And I'll be happy to, because I've had credit rating waiting in the wings
Plus,
for
we
God
get
knows
to
how
save
long.
Tongue's sister.
Exactly.
Yeah.
which maybe might give us some sort of benefit from the...
Probably not, but
Yeah, leverage over the cultist.
No,
we
no.
get the thing we were asking to get.
No, there's
not a
actually.
mythos creature.
Let's see here. Shanghai. Here we go.
Oh my god, it's Omri!
No, just a cultist of Yagolanak.
Omri would just kill anyone who
Yeah.
got too close to her. She is kind of a murder machine at this point. So let's see.
Kind of, I think that's...
Yeah, no, she totally is. She
Dictionary.
is quick. So you go to. I'm trying to find a section that has the description of what is going on here. Here we go. So there is a flower girl house run by a Madam G.
Madam G. I
yes.
hated that one.
And you can hear workers trying to refurbish a room as you're going in.
Is this going to be a scene with Melissa being catty? Because I can totally get behind
Let's
that.
just all stand back and let this go.
Madam G is currently yelling at the workers to clean up that room. After, the murder, we need to make it look nice so people don't get freaked out.
Wow, this place has gone downhill.
Sadly,
This
no.
used to be a classy establishment.
Sadly, no.
Well, that is that's kind of unusual. And she says, "Oh yes, Sulan. Oh, I thought you had retired. Are you looking to branch out your business?
Not at all.
Then what? This isn't a social event. I know you. Are you just? By the way, are you guys coming with her?
Actually, you want me to come to you since I'll be the money?
I have my own money.
Yeah.
No, you can come if you want. That's fine.
Oh, are you? She actually is talking to you in Shanghai and says, "Oh, are you looking to start selling?" She looks at Lydia.
I'm going to respond back in Shanghai.
Oh, you're spending that point of language. Yeah.
I have 4 points of language. So I spent
Where did your upper crust British?
I've been teaching her.
Exactly.
Side, okay.
I am not.
I just wanted to
I am
know the
not
story.
looking to go into the business, so to speak.
Actually, I'm here to inquire about one of your girls.
All right. So her name is. Let's see here. Ying. I'm looking for simple pronunciations.
It's good.
I'm looking from the the NPC name. So
there's not
yes.
a pompous Chinese name generator online.
Flower Girl would not have a pompous name anyway.
Yeah. She says yes. What did you? What about her?
I would like to employ her.
Oh, so you are looking in. Well, this is...
In a matter of speaking, yes.
She's a very beautiful, very refined lady.
I know, that's why I chose
She would
her.
demand a very high price, of course.
What kind of high price?
She gives you enough money, enough Mexican silver dollars, that would be 2 credit ratings. Of course, you know that is way too much for that, so you could bargain with her.
I will spend a point of bargain and say, now, Madam G, you and I both know that is unreasonable, especially considering that I know how much you pay for your girls and where you get them.
Oh, snap.
So I think 1 credit rating will do just fine, don't you?
Fine. She hasn't been the same since the murder happened anyway. You could take the bawling baby. She's witnessed one death, and she's too good to work anymore. So
I feel like Ross is trying to subtly insinuate a plot here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yes, take her. Fine.
We'll bring her to me. I'll wait here.
She calls for one of her Korean bouncers, and an enormously muscled man shuffles out and shuffles back in with Ying, a small, sly girl who's very eyes down, very looks like she's been crying recently. She sort of stutters, "Hello, I am pleased to serve you." She looks at you. She's
Not the usual patron.
I'll respond to her, just kind of bring her there. If you would come over here this way, bring her out of earshot.
Yeah.
Spend a point of reassurance. We're bringing you to your brother.
But
keep your head down.
Oh, she does. She starts weeping. She is trying to hold it back, but they overcome with emotion.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to thank. Well, yes.
So, Madam G, it looks like you've had a bit of bad luck here lately.
Well, yes. One of our. Let's see. The room. One of the girls. The room was ruined because there was a death in it.
Spoons.
One of our girls was kidnapped too during it. I guess.
Oh no.
Yes. Well, yeah. Actually, you could keep your money if you could find out where that girl is. Bring her back. I would.
What was her name?
Pay her. Well,
Side quest.
No, it's probably
the working
the main
name
thing, just,
was Troy Mei Ling. She had I was kind of upset with her. She had this American she was keeping in her room, and he wasn't paying enough.
He wasn't housebroken.
He was a patron?
Well, her, yes, they were. She was his favorite, and he was hiding out there. Probably Americans want to do that, but he left. And then she took another customer, and then I heard this. There must have been a gang of them. They burst into the room. I heard yelling, roaring. I don't know. Maybe they had a dog with them. They broke the room up, killed the poor man. He was just another John, and then the girl was taken.
Was the other John American as well?
Oh no, he was a little man. He liked the flower girls. He was
one of the usuals.
Yes, one of the usuals. So Troy disappeared or was taken, and I would be very grateful if you could find her or find out what happened to her, so I could tell the Green Gang why I'm not making as much. Because with your money, I'll be able to at least make up for this month, but I'll need to get more employees sooner or later. It's the American's name.
Do you know the patron's name?
John Smith.
Okay.
Well, it was worth a shot.
He was, he's a rough-looking type. You could tell he had not a man unaccustomed to violence.
Any identifying markers?
Scarred hands. I
Did
think
he know the language, or did he only speak
Yes,
English?
he knew the
He has to
language.
die.
He seemed to know. He spoke Shanghainese and Cantonese. He had a tattoo on his arm. I think he maybe had been a soldier or something. I can't tell it apart. So.
I don't want to do this.
Why are
but-
you looking for him too? Is he one?
Well, if I'm going to find your girl, it might be important to know this.
Haha, nice play.
Okay, group consensus on this. If I use art to replicate the bloated woman tattoo, do we want to show it to her to see if?
No, get some sort of description of it first before we
Well, she said
blow
she
our
did-
mythos wall.
It was a military one. You know how all those sailors and soldiers get ones of their
Right.
unit or army. It was something with what is that bird on it?
Sparrow.
Well, no, a large bird. Yes. Well, yeah. The Korean says, what about the Americans have eagles on there? Oh, yes, an eagle of some sort. So he's probably, and he that the accent Americans have when they learn the language, you can tell that.
Right.
So he had some kind of eagle or something on his arm, some sort of military thing. I don't read English, so but he was walking around here like he owned the place. You at least
Did he go out much?
Oh yeah, every once in a while. I mean, he was gone the night that his girl was taken, but
Merchant Marine.
well, yeah, that could be. Actually, I would allow an art spin. If you want to make an art spin, you could draw the common tattoos of the. I allow you to recall from memory three service tattoos.
You've seen a few in your time.
Yeah. So which three do you think it would be?
You think I get around that much? Who do you think I am? That kind of
Okay,
lady.
or not.
I'm not that kind of lady. Oh, I'll just see. Go ahead and make this spin.
Okay, well, what three tattoos you want to show her? Like, of what three services? U.S.
Oh, U.S. I'll show one of Navy, Marines, and General Army. So-
Navy, Marines, Army?
Yeah.
Okay. She recognized the Marines one. The man was a Marine. So you find that out. You get Ying, who is just on a rack. She shows you the room, which is completely demolished. Floors and ceiling are splattered with blood.
Yee.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the window has just been like something enormous, just rammed it through the window. Like,
You say you heard a roar?
yes, I mean, I don't know.
Did it go Gug?
No, hunting horrors don't make
I
noise.
know, just the hype.
I'm not sure. There were riots also going on in the distance, so I wasn't. I thought maybe it was in a bomb going off or something, but they.
The roar sounded like a bomb?
Well, I don't know.
Just tried to...
I've had hearing trouble. All right.
Okay, all right.
Try to get to an episode of Car Talk.
Yeah.
Make the noise your car made.
Can you make the noise the Mythos monster made?
Right.
That
You replicate
eight-year
the
John.
roar.
Cthulhu talk with Ross and Aqua.
Sounds like you've got Gugs in the basement. Oh boy.
Oh God, we need to do
Oh,
it. We
yeah,
need
we
to do a
need to
sketch
do
on
that up
that.
as a
so.
sketch sometime.
Dewey, Chantum, and Howe.
Yes, we need to do Cthulhu credits. Oh my gosh.
You heard it here first, or not? Because I don't know when this is going to get posted.
Sounds like work.
Yeah. Yeah, let's move the W word. So anything else you want to do, or you just want to take off?
Any questions, guys?
Thank you.
Well, there was one other girl who saw her, by the way, Magenta Joy.
Says a what?
I lost another girl. I even forgot about her.
Oh, how did you lose her?
Well, she's just broke down. She was a fragile girl.
Did she see something?
Yeah, she saw it. She was first to look at the room, and she just started screaming. And I guess the side of a man disemboweled, or I don't know.
Disemboweled?
Yeah, no, he was ripped apart. They must have had cleavers or something. She's mad. She couldn't. Clients wouldn't pay.
What
for her.
What have you done with her?
Oh, I dropped her off at the hospital.
You're
Well,
sure?
I had him do it. Hospital.
What was her name?
Magenta Joy.
Really, Ross?
That's in the book.
It's Magenta.
Magenta.
Yeah.
Maganta?
Magenta.
Oh, yeah.
Magenta Joy would be a little bit.
Scary.
Let me see.
Yes.
Maganta Joy's Hospital.
Totally not the bloated woman.
I think that's the name
Actually-
of the hospital, Ross.
No. It's actually
Okay.
Magenta Joy is in the Maganta Hospital.
Okay, then
Maganta Joy. Okay, in the book it is spelled Magenta Joy. So,
Fair enough.
yeah.
okay,
I thought that was just
so
like,
Magenta's
a
in the
stripper name,
Maganta.
but, basically, if they came for that. So, yeah, you have that lead as well, but she in the nearby hospital for poor workers. So, yeah.
Let's go blow it up. Just kidding. Just
Poor
kidding.
Magenta?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we take Ying and skedaddle.
Okay. All right.
And we find Tongue.
Yes.
Or is it Tan?
We don't yet, do we?
Tan is the one with the brother in jail. Tongue is the one with the sister.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well, I want to talk to her first.
sure.
All right.
All right.
Ying, she is eternally grateful. She will help you as best she can because she can't believe she assumes that you are Christian missionaries.
Mercenaries.
Yeah.
Christian
Mercenaries. Oh.
The power of Christ compels you to die.
You're not the Swiss Guard. So she assumes you're missionaries trying to save her soul, and she says she swears she will convert.
Swear to me.
Oh man, posing as Christian missionaries in a Cthulhu game.
It's kind of a common thing, it seems like.
Oh yeah.
So some would argue that was what the Father Killjoy was doing the entire time.
Yes.
Some have.
Yeah, some have. She tells you much the same information that she, the night that the attack happened, Choi was in a room with another client. Her American Marine boyfriend was gone.
Does she know anything else about the American Marine boyfriend? Does she know the real name?
She said his name. She said Choi called him Jack once. When they were whispering, she was eavesdropping on them.
Okay.
He was very secretive. He seemed very prone, very wary, as though someone was hunting for him.
A bit paranoid.
Yes.
So now we search for the man with the eagle tattoo.
Named
Jack.
Jack.
Wait, I thought he died. Wasn't he the one that was
No.
killed?
No.
No,
He
it was
disappeared.
the other one that got
It
killed.
was the innocent bystander.
The innocent.
The moderately corrupt bystander.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's true. So yeah. But we can take a break real quick. So we'll be right back. And we're back. And so you're trying to figure out how to get the warehouse worker.
Tongue.
Right.
Ying to her brother, Tongue. So what is your approach? What do you want to do? With a point of oral history, yeah.
No.
I know.
That's
That's
not how leverage
No.
works.
I know.
Give us this information. We'll shoot this sister. Like National Lampoon.
The dog.
Yeah.
Or the rabbit.
Yeah. That's a little too grim dark. So you know where he lives with
Yeah.
oral history. You know where he works. You know his route. You know. So you want an interrogation site.
We could do a freak out. We could place her in areas of town to where he can see her, and he starts to feel like he's going crazy.
Oh my!
And
Why
then
is that not?
Sounds like way too much work.
Yeah.
And that's even crueler.
Also, you're
Not
not.
as long as it works out in the end.
She thinks you're Christian missionary. She's not going to
Yeah.
dig the
Right.
whole psychologically torture my brother.
It's true.
Just taunt him with your appearance and then come back to us. What? Why? Can I just go? He's right there. No? Okay, yeah. That's not maybe necessarily the best approach. So,
Well, why don't we just send him a message to meet us someplace? We have your sister. We want to talk to you.
because cultists would then know where we are
Right.
and what we're doing.
The hotel, though, we can still use her.
he's not going to be allowed
Not
entrance into the
hotel.
hotel.
Crypt. Basement of a
It's a little
synagogue.
creepy.
It's like your go-to.
It's also creepy, but
The
potentially
synagogue would be a good place for a reunion between brother and sister.
Like, okay, so the thing to me is we need to plan, like, we need to have a solid B plan. Like, yeah, it's as simple as leave him a note to say, if you want to see your sister out of the horrible condition she's been sold into, meet us here. If he then does not proceed to meet us there, we need, like, if
Then
he
we
starts running off to the
psychologically
cult,
torture him.
no, we just nab him. Because, I mean, no, actually, we don't.
Yes.
It's not a signed note. We just cut it. We just wash it as a loss. It's not worth blowing cover over.
Okay, let's give this
We
a
can
try.
maybe even keep it vaguer and like we have information on your sister
It's true.
or
Yeah, so
something to get him worried, but not really.
Meet us here
Sure,
at
what
this
it
time,
is, but-
which is like a couple of hours. Like we
Okay.
can't give him a day.
Yeah,
It's
we don't
gotta
want him
be
to
pretty
prepare for
immediate.
anything.
Okay.
We know things about Ying. If you want to know more, give us a ping.
That's lovely, Sean.
damn it.
And so, do we want to go? You know, does somebody want to like? Actually, I did drop some stealth. We can leave it in his house. That's probably.
You with the stealth check, you can put it in his lunchbox. You know.
Just
Don't want it to be in his lunchbox. We'll see it at work where all the other cultists are.
Right.
All right, fair enough.
Could we somehow engrave it on an ice cube?
No, you
at the
could
bar?
slip, you could wow. You could slip it under his door.
Then it would melt
Pretty easy.
away.
All right, so where are you going to set up the site?
I actually do kind of like the synagogue basement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's a. I mean, is that relatively nearby?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll say there's one nearby.
Come here for the
And you
antidote.
could
Here's your sister.
spend. There are a couple of ways you could do it. You could just break in when everyone's gone.
No, let's buy him off.
Yeah, or you could buy him off with a point of credit rating, or you could make, if you have theology, you could make a like, I'm trying to reunite a brother with his sister. So, as long as he doesn't hear anyone screaming, he's probably going to be okay.
I reshuffled out of theology.
So
well,
I'll spend the credit rating so we
Okay.
can get it.
all right, yeah, no, sizable donation. Give us the hall. Give us the synagogue.
We're just renting the basement. We're going to have a potluck. No pork products.
Yeah,
Bingo night.
It's a very generous donation. He's very eager.
One whole money unit?
Yeah, one whole money
Whoa.
unit. It's nice.
I can feed so many orphans with this money unit.
Yeah, basically, yeah, other
Yeah.
Jews.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Russian Jews are not doing so well in
Okay.
this point in history.
So we slip a note under his door. If
all
you
right,
want
this will be one
information regarding
group
free
stealth check to maneuver to get to the synagogue to get the note, all of it together. So.
And
I will
we
contribute
need
one.
someone in place to surveil
you-
him to make sure he heads in that direction.
And then,
So-
of course, a heat check for the group.
Okay.
Right. I'll
Have
check
Margot
Does it
your
have to be the
shadow.
highest heat?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is
So
3 now?
Yeah.
2.
Two.
We didn't.
Yeah,
have
you did
Okay.
not. You
Yes.
avoided that.
3.
All right.
Yay.
Still being stealthy, so group stealth check.
Stealth. Anybody else contribute?
I'll throw
Adding
one
one.
in.
Okay. I'll throw in 1.
So +3.
Yeah. I'll throw in 2. Why not?
Do you mean to be his shadow?
+4?
I think I'm
Yeah.
the only one who has shadow points.
You don't need to shadow him because you
Oh.
just put it under his door and then leave. So
Nine.
So we've got an 9 on stealth. But we do want someone in place. Yeah, I mean, I know this is.
If it looks
calling
like he's
for a
going
lot
to the
of
police
shadowing.
or something, we
Okay,
need
but you don't have to
that.
shadow him unless you follow him. Like you can stake
Okay.
out his place without shadow.
Yeah, we just
Okay.
just want to see where he heads.
So this will be
Okay.
part of the stealth check. If he goes somewhere, you have to decide whether to go back to report to your friends or to follow him.
If he goes anywhere but to the synagogue, we need to wash the out.
So, but yeah, let's keep one of the shadowing people just in case.
Okay. All right. So you wait. He comes back home. By the way, so this is another day. So I guess this is
It's
June the
8th.
Yeah, 8th.
Yeah.
June the 8th. Disturbances are still common. They're still but you know there haven't been. The May 30th was by far the worst. So he sees the note. He rushes back out and he goes to someone, says something very quickly. They point in the direction of the synagogue, and then he goes off tearing that way. So looks like he asked his neighbor where that is. So
Cool.
that's what it looks like from.
All right.
So you don't have to make any tests just to get to the synagogue on your own. If you're not following him, if you don't want to keep him in sight the entire time. If you do want to keep him in sight the entire time, you need to make a shadowing check.
Question: should we disguise ourselves before he gets here?
That was
So
probably
you
a good
will
idea.
recognize
That'd
us
be great.
later.
Yes.
All right.
I will throw. Can that be a group check?
Yeah, because you
I
all get
will
to work
throw
together.
2 points in.
And
I
you
will
just want
throw
to
2
not look
points
like
in.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have 4 points to add. And 7.
All right. He will not be able to recognize you
Did you
except for
make
your.
follow up? Or just come back?
I don't know. That at
Just come back.
the end of it, that's up to you.
Okay. I'll just go back to the synagogue.
All right, you go back to synagogue. He beats you there because
We
you're
are
not
disguised.
running. Yeah. Well, I assume Anne is not running.
Okay.
She's just walking. I'm a normal person. Doot, doot, doot. I'm not doing up to any skullduggery or shenanigans.
So, how are we running this? My thought is probably not to have her present at first.
The
Yeah.
sister, yeah.
And just try to,
Talk to him 1st.
Okay. You can do that. So where is she?
There has to be just an office or someplace, probably in
Sure.
the basement, that we can keep
I'll
her there.
stay with her.
Okay.
She will probably be able to hear him.
We could keep her off site, and I could go get her. Now that I know he's
At
going
the
to the
house,
synagogue.
Well, that's on the other side of Shanghai. and
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah,
breaking
I would
curfew.
say on site. We're safe in the basement, pretty much.
Yes.
Well, okay, and just reasonably speaking, like, he's probably, like, if his first move wasn't to go to the other cultists, then his move probably isn't to try to bring them in on this sister information thing.
right.
Seems relatively reasonable.
Where his priority lies.
Yeah.
So.
So, all right. What's his name again?
Tongue.
Tom.
I do not give him a family name.
It's fine.
His
Yeah.
family
Doesn't
name
bother
is
me.
Bloody.
Family for I
Bloody
can.
tongue.
It's
Bloody bloated
Yeah.
tongue.
So yeah, I will not do that. Just yeah.
Ooh. Do we want to pose as one of the other cults and try to turn this into
A turf war?
internecine? Yeah, a turf war kind of thing.
I like that because we did it in London and it worked really well.
Well, you can keep the same disguise check. I'm not going to make you roll
Okay.
again. So, what cult are you disguising as? If you want.
Sandbat.
No,
No.
we just messed
We
with
just did that,
Sandbat.
So, bloody tongue then?
Sure. Why not?
What are the other ones?
Sandbat,
Because
bloody.
we saw all the statues.
The goat one?
Yeah.
Is there a goat one?
Oh, what's the little kitty fiddler?
The kitty fiddler. What the hell is that?
What?
We saw the statues, so we would know.
The one,
Wait,
the one that was in what's his ass's basement in Kenya. The little statue.
That's an Indian cult. And that is the name I will look at. That is an Indian cult of Nyarlathotep.
Which totally has not infiltrated the Sikh police force. Wink.
They actually aren't Sikh.
Sikh.
It doesn't matter.
Suddenly they have. Schrodinger's occult activities.
Where is this guy?
Kitty fiddler.
It's Mr. Singh.
It's just unfortunate.
Just kitty fiddler.
Let's
Let's just call him the kitty
No,
fiddler.
it's not. I can't stick with that, but
I don't want this recording being pinged by
We're
the
the, we're the cult of the kitty fiddler.
oh, whatever. The NSA is all up on this already. They're metadataing the hell out of this.
What?
Small crawler.
The small crawlers.
crawler.
It sounds like Kitty Fiddler.
Wow. All right. So yeah, you could do the small crawler, which is an Indian cult. The other one is the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh.
That's a little too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we go small crawler.
But
Okay. So you do that. You wear the signs. So hopefully he will be able to recognize that, but not know too much about it, because as far as you can tell, all of the members of it are Indian. So, but hopefully he doesn't know that. So,
well, and I'm British. I was recruited.
that's true.
I'm
It is a
British. I
cult of
was
scholars.
Yeah.
British recruited.
It is a scholarly cult trying to understand the natures of the universe. So,
And mysticism is insanely popular in the United States in the 1920s.
all right. Well,
true.
you can make your arguments to him if he raises these theological issues. If you get in a debate over metaphysics of Nyarlathotep, this will be
We're well prepared. For that.
yeah. So he shows up.
Yeah.
He rushes in. You can see that he does have the cult sign. His shirt is loose as he's been running, and he obviously pushed his way through the crowd, so his clothes are kind of messed up. But he's like, he sees the 4 of you, I guess, in the
Three.
Okay.
She's following him.
Remember,
She's
I'm
got
a
his
girl.
sister.
Okay, so
So
you're
it'd
the
just be the
sister,
3
so
of us.
That's the
Yeah.
3 of us.
All right, I didn't know if Salon was in the room or not.
No.
No, she's,
I'm nearby.
Okay. You know where my sister is?
we have information.
What is this about? Who are you? Who are you?
That sign you wear.
Yes.
You know there are others.
And from my point of disguise, I show my small crawler tattoo that I just faked.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
That are the same but
His
different.
eyes widen. He's like,
sheer terror on Ross's face.
acting.
Yeah.
He. What did you want from me? I'm only a dock worker. He sort of tries to cover up his tattoo.
Please, don't be so modest.
You're all seekers of truth here.
But I thought we were all unified. What? Shouldn't you not approach my master, Ho Feng? Ding. You get that for free.
Yeah. Could I spend a point of reassurance to essentially frame ourselves as the internal affairs of the cults of Nyarlathotep?
Like
And-
we haven't pulled that one before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, generally explain to him how, it's the actual...
We know about the
oh,
gate in the
gosh.
Indian Ocean, and we are closer to the
Yeah.
Indian Ocean than anybody else.
Well,
so,
and, the Japanese have a term, gemba. It means where the work is done. They say that the true wisdom of what is happening is known from the people who are doing the work.
He says, I am, the machine is being assembled on the island. What else do you want to know?
To what end?
You don't know? How do I know you're even really, truly servants? Anyone can put a tattoo on.
This is...
He is paranoid.
Yeah.
As he called us.
Probably-
Silon, you're in the room. Is that my brother? Is he here? She goes to the door.
Okay.
Are you going to stop her?
Yes.
Okay. You get in between her and the door.
I'm going to spend a point of reassurance and say it is incredibly important that you don't interrupt what is happening downstairs. It could endanger your brother's life.
Okay. With a all right.
nice.
Good
With a
save.
0 point, she wouldn't believe. With 0 point, she wouldn't believe. With 1 point, she's like, "Oh, you know the truth. Oh, thank you, God. I will be a Christian. Thank you. You're so merciful and kind."
That's right. Have a seat. Drink tea.
Because who else would pay off her debt and let her go free?
Right.
So my brother has gotten mixed in with dark forces. You should convert him too.
So, would it be, since
Anyway.
he's kind of doubting us at this
Yes,
point,
he is. He needs a proof of faith.
Cthulhu, spending one of Cthulhu mythos to just say the crawling chaos is everywhere.
No. You need something more direct. Words are not enough. You need action. Well,
I take my eye out. Does that help?
You have a glass eye.
Good job.
Yeah.
I've
So
seen
can
a
I
few-
make it do a little light show?
Okay. You could have him look through the eye and then activate it for him. That would cost you a point of sanity. But then he would see it, and then he would believe you. So that's one option. Yeah, you could do that.
Done.
All right.
I'll
John,
mark off your sanity.
Thank you.
yeah.
You're welcome.
He, you take it in the eye, he looks at it, and
Welcome to one sanity, Sean.
I saw ruins. I saw a great city. You were there. I saw you in front of the statues.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap, I was marked.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
You're fine. I will aid you. I believe you. If you can help me return my sister too.
Yes. We know in the larger sense what is transpiring.
Yes.
We're just looking in on the details. That's why we picked you. Someone who knows about the details.
Oh, perhaps my master has been. There have been rumors of setbacks.
Yes.
Really?
The other 2 points the shipments have been
is most
we've lost
disappointing.
word from the our office in Mombasa, and we have lost word of our word in Australia. They have are not receiving our shipments, or there's no one there to take them.
Oops. Dear.
Yeah, hey, good job, guys. You did a thing. You've killed a lot of people. And there's consequences for that.
Oh, no, I'm at 2 now. 1.
2. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I thought you were 2. Sorry.
And what does this mean for the status of the project?
Our master has assured us it will still happen because our brothers in Egypt shall investigate, and they shall go forth and take over those offices and continue the work. And we are sending some of our own down to Australia. And there are still some in London that are able to help.
Do you have a timetable? We just need a cross-reference.
I am a lowly worker. I only do. When the Dark Mistress returns tomorrow, we shall fill her with...
Freezing!
Well, yeah. With crates that shall head to the island where our allies, especially those from the ocean, will help us.
Sorry, chips.
No, that's fine. Listeners, we have chips. Oh, we're taking sacks. Oh my God! Oh, sad lost listeners. Yeah.
We just lost at least 3 listeners. Thanks, John.
But anyway, so yeah, he is quite.
Do we want to see if we can, if he can possibly sneak us on?
Put us in the Dark Mistress.
Phrasing.
Is that why would?
Well,
Have I answered your questions? What do you know of my sister?
Peace, brother.
All in
Be
good
made
time.
clear.
Okay.
Is that what he says? Okay.
Well, he's a dog broker. He was recruited for his ability to follow orders, not to
And lift heavy objects.
and lift heavy objects and kill people. You notice he has a sickle on his belt too. A small little hand sickle.
We should probably speed this up.
Do we even know who the master is?
Oh, fine.
Fun.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we know that for sure.
Well, okay.
Hofong is the master of the house.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder, if we wanted to really be bastards, we could show him his sister and then get him to plant explosives in one of the crates on a time delay.
That risks him telling his boss.
It also risks him just pulling out his sickle and slicing our throats.
Yeah.
And then we have to murder him in front of his sister, and then we have to kill her because she was a witness.
And then we lose sanity.
He did a sugar. That's just like a faux pas in general. Like that's just bad form, man. I should have your real sensibility for that.
I was just throwing it out there.
I mean, you can still do it. I'm just saying. Obviously, bigger risk equals bigger reward.
Right.
Or you have to get explosives. You don't have explosives right now.
It's true.
Or we can just keep him on retainer, so to speak, that saying, give him his sister, tell him, we may have future use of you, and wait for our signal.
Or, since he hasn't seen his sister yet, we could tell him, we know how to get her, you've done a great job, we'll bring her to this location and leave her there. Or something.
What are we trying to accomplish? Like, what do we want to happen?
If he leaves us with information on the ship's manifest and its plan, its shipping line.
He already told you when it's coming in tomorrow.
Okay, then yeah, if we want to get that information, bring this on there, show her as a sign of good faith, and then and then agree to meet him somewhere.
And he takes
To
his
what
sickle
end?
out and kills us.
Well, if we're getting the shipping manifest, any other information that
Yeah, the reason
Okay.
I'll let you guys figure this out because you've got time to prepare. So, like, whatever you say, you
Yeah,
already
yeah.
yeah.
For listeners at home, they're not just standing and staring at the gold.
Well,
So let
Pat-
us discuss our.
Let's hit the pause button and talk this out. Yeah,
Right.
So,
It's an investigative game. It's got to happen.
It's fine.
It's charged to see what the path is back and forth. If there's a particular dock that they're using on the island, some place around it, more detailed maps
You
possibly.
haven't done any research on the island yet, have you?
Yeah.
Right.
If we can get that all from the Dark Mistress.
Not necessarily,
Well,
but
Yeah.
To be fair, as a naval officer, if it's unclaimed by any nation, you'd be surprised. Like, there's
Right.
there are
Much to
docks?
speak of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
No, they're probably doing it the hard way.
people weren't really picky about seizing territory in 1920.
Yeah, and I figure that getting that
like
information
if no one's
from-
claimed it, it must not. There can't be much there.
Right.
So-
I'm really okay. What I'm going here for is trying to disrupt what's going on. Like
Right.
if we can do it in some hands-off kind of way, like if we can reasonably avoid going to the island, that's what
or
I'm
figure out
looking
exactly how much orange soda we need to bring with us.
We could ask.
That's not going to stop the
Like-
scurvy.
Which cults have already gathered there? Are they already at the island? Or are they staying on the mainland until the big shebang? So we can have an
Okay.
idea of numbers.
But this isn't the big shebang.
It's the ship.
It's the one in the Indian Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Is the big one. This is just
Yeah,
disrupting
the ritual,
another node
from
on
the
the
ritual,
network.
it sounds like it will open a gate over the Indian Ocean, a magical gate. So the 3 points.
So this is just a point.
Well, it's one of the 3 points. Like, there's nothing in the ocean. It's just ocean. It's just it will open a magic gate above it. So like that's the cataclysm that happens is the gate opening. So like,
We could try to turn him.
Okay.
We could
To do what?
To get him to sabotage.
We could
That's
tell
where I
him that
was
Ho
going.
Fong is the one who sold his sister,
Yeah.
and therefore we don't think that Fong is the appropriate master for this important operation. So we need you to sabotage him so that we can take
He's
over.
not going to share the bounties of the gods once they come in.
Right. And so we really need you to sabotage him. Clearly he's corrupt because he sold your sister into slavery.
He is
just
not a true
slavery,
follower.
It's prostitution slavery, but
Even so. So,
We could
what
also-
kind of sabotage?
Oh.
Because we've got to keep it within something a dock worker
Well,
can do.
he may know how to do it,
He may be able to help us get in.
or have an idea.
you might
how
have
to
an idea of
sabotage.
what type of sabotage
Would
might be the
work.
most effective.
Right. Okay.
In order to embarrass Fong and create dissension in the ranks.
Because how far is the island from the mainland?
300
300
miles.
miles.
300 miles. Okay.
A
Because
day
if our
and a half in a
objective is-
fast ship, 3 days in a large ship.
Okay.
Because if our objective is to create dissension in the ranks like you were originally planning, then we need to embarrass Ho Fong so that there's tension within the city, within the cult's ranks.
Right.
So he needs to tell us exactly what type of sabotage would make that the most effective.
We could tell him that his sister was the one that was kidnapped.
All right.
That seems a bit much.
And that brings in the
She's
American
not.
angle.
She's not going to lie to her brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, now that we brought him this close, like, the weak nuclear force is going to take over.
So,
All right.
anybody want to roll with
No,
this?
sorry, that's the strong nuclear force.
So embarrass Ho Fong and create dissension.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah. I don't know who's actually doing the talking, but yeah, pretty much that.
All right. Tell me what you're going to say.
Ho Fong has been weighed in the balances as master of the order and has been found wanting. He is a corrupt man. He uses his resources improperly. He sold your sister into slavery.
What? Do you have any proof of that? We had a.
She has told us herself.
No.
But she told me that she was.
It's a bad idea.
No.
Take that. Take
No.
that.
Retract that now.
Yeah.
She told me
Just
that.
kidding.
Okay.
I can impersonate Madame G.
Sure.
Does he know?
We have it on word of the
Yeah.
concubine or
Yeah,
madam.
whatever.
Madam.
Courtesan.
Madam, thank you.
The Madam of the Flower Grow House.
Yeah.
Madame G.
Well, she told me that it was to pay for our parents' old debts.
Yes, that's what she was told to tell.
Who held those debts?
Yes.
So, you're a clever man. If you're a clever man, reasonably clever man.
I'm not sure he believes that, but yeah.
There is time and there is resources to bring the plan to fruition, but there's time enough on the side to
Do justice.
yes, to do justice to not only. Well, you must understand the leadership of people is a careful art. We must not only drive out Hofong physically, but also
All of
we
his
must bring
allies.
yes, we must make it clear and apparent to everyone that he is not fit to lead.
And none who believe he is are fit for our cause.
So
Like the American?
yes,
Yes,
Just like him.
he must die as well. No.
What?
so
The eagle-shouldered one
What-
must perish.
what boasts has he made? What if the project were to fail? In what way would most spectacularly embarrass him?
I suppose if the machine is destroyed, it is mostly done from what I understand. On Great Dragon Island, it's a very large machine. We've been sending many crates there for many months. It is, if it were to falter, it would create the destruction would be tremendous.
Do you have a means to enact this sort of sabotage?
I'm a lowly doc. I've never even been on the island. I will only go there on the night of the Great Ritual.
But in the shipments
Yes?
to which you have access,
Uh-huh.
could you place something in those crates?
Like what?
Oh my god!
Spell it out.
Oh my great small crawler! What the hell is wrong? Anyway, Bill, you want to take this one?
Like a bomb?
Here, take this, like, with the lightning.
I don't know how-
Jab
I
it
don't
in
know
there
how to
and press
bomb.
the trigger.
And we work in teams. The crates are very heavy. I don't know if I'd ever be alone with one.
What would happen if you dropped one of the crates?
Well, we've done that before, and usually the man has his arm cut off. But other than that, the crates seem to be fine. They're very substantial machines, from what I am told.
Yeah.
Very heavy.
Okay.
We could steal
If the ritual was that vulnerable, like,
Yeah.
drop a box, oh, Nyarlathotep
What would a
screwed.
giant magnet do?
What's a magnet? No, actually, Mike, probably.
What if
not
we
a
stole
magnet.
one of the crates?
Okay.
It's like a lodestone.
So that just brings in the problem of, like, so we could potentially use him as a guy on the inside to open up the door for us, but then we have to come up with the team to get there and
Couldn't we just
get out
convince him
with the
to
great
kill
big heavy
Hofong?
thing. But that's not embarrassing.
It's not?
It's hard to be embarrassed after you're dead.
Well, at that
But it
point,
would
seems
create
a bit moot.
dissension.
True.
Because if one of the cultists is found to have killed the leader,
It would certainly make him more vulnerable.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but would that actually stop the ritual?
You're not sure?
It would create dissension and buy us time to get to the
Wait, you
island.
still have Nodin's bow, right?
Yes.
Use it to kill him and claim it for Nodin's.
Well, that would be a thing if you can get within eyesight of him.
Well, but we still need to
Get
use the
shot.
stock worker that we invested so much freaking time in getting.
Not necessarily. We've gotten a lot of good information
Yeah.
out of him. I mean,
Well, and he could help us get into position to kill him.
Out of revenge
For
his
prostituting
sister.
daughter.
His sister.
but yeah.
He probably prostituted
Your
his
daughter
daughter as
did
well.
that.
Your mother.
No, she
The
died.
children. How much for the children?
That was for the good.
Wow. But please tell me where my sister is.
I'm good with.
Yeah.
On door number one!
Release the
Oh,
house.
sister! Oh, brother! Oh, they hug each other. They're weeping and crying. They're very happy. Good job.
You understand we have given her back to you.
Of course.
You
Do we-
understand that we may need further things from you
Oh, of course.
for her to stay.
I serve our true God,
You
whatever his name is.
understand that your position is sensitive and none must know.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Hofung is an angry master.
A deadly and stupid man.
He is very deadly.
And stupid.
He likes to
Seem
poison.
to be a dead and stupid man.
Yeah, along those
Yes.
lines. Ooh, I do have medicine. How about
We
that?
could poison him.
Yeah,
He could poison his tea.
that's
I'm a dock worker. I don't pour the tea.
Yeah.
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 But he could get to the tea.
But you certainly can help with the shipment of that tea.
No,
Wait,
it's bought
no.
in town by trusted servants.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Also, I'm not a servant at his household. I work at the warehouse.
But
Do you have any relatives that are servants at his household?
No, they're all dead. They died of typhus.
Damn it.
Damn.
wow, that just got real.
Have you noticed the incredible humidity and poor healthcare system of Shanghai?
And the fact that pretties are located underneath the houses.
What, has this guy suddenly got a master's in public administration?
Yeah.
He was pulled from a specific source.
I got that background information in the Mass Companion. I'm going to use it, goddamn. Disease is a thing.
It's the booming GM voice. What was that?
Pretty much.
Anyway, yeah.
All right, they go up.
Yeah, don't tell anybody about us and be prepared
You
to
guys
work
can
for us
return to
again.
your house skirting curfew.
Yeah.
If you want, or you can, I don't know, do something else.
Or just hang out in the basement of the synagogue.
Until morning.
Have some matzah bread.
Sure, why
Chill
not?
with the rabbi.
Either way, you go back. So, yeah, what do you get? So the next day, there is you have oral history. You've been gossiping. You actually, one of your friends comes over to gossip. She's got some hot new gossip, juicy gossip.
Oh.
How exciting.
You know that those people you were asking about the other day, the dock workers. Mm-hmm. One of them must be a gambler. He must Tung. He bought his sister back, and he's saying he just wanted playing gambling.
Amazing.
Betting on the horses. I can't believe he had such great luck.
Just roll with it.
There is horse racing in Shanghai, so there's betting on it. Yeah. Look, all right.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
There's racing of something, and he bet on it, and
Well, that's what his
on.
cover story is. People are very, but
we probably should have given him one of those, but oh well.
It's all right. He can come up with one. Sounds like you did.
Yeah, no.
He's a clever man. We said it.
A reasonably clever man.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? You have information on the warehouse. You could call on the dock worker again. Tongue.
We could have him start a strike at the dock. Or open up the dock to
The
riders,
dock-
indicating that Ho Fong has been supplying things to the west, and stir anti-Western sentiment against Ho Fong so that the rioters attack the dock.
That
If you wanted to
complicated.
do that kind of revolutionary stuff, you should probably talk to a revolutionary group. The one you know the most about is New China, which is violent.
One of the most violent.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It'll be fabulous.
Okay.
So, okay.
You're a little too excited about this.
I'm just trying to scale it in terms of, like...
Or you could plan to wait to get onto the Dark Mistress tonight.
And we still need to. Do we want to find the American to pull more information, or
We could... I mean, I'm feeling a little, not objectiveless, but like there's several, and we're not really
Right.
tying ourselves to one of them. So, what are we actually... What is the bottom of the flowchart? Are we getting ourselves on the island and blowing the thing up, aka the most dangerous option? Are we just disrupting the cult enough that we think it's not going to happen, aka the least certain option? Or are we trying to cat's paw blowing up the machine?
I was thinking actually a combination of all three, but
It seems like a lot.
Yeah.
What's cat's paw?
a cat's paw is
Getting someone
using
else to
someone
do it.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
like
getting the
that
dock worker to
option.
plant a bomb for you.
Okay. So, I
Or
mean...
trying to get the dock
yeah.
worker to assassinate
Like,
someone
Because
for you.
that's
Yeah.
sort of low risk, but would
But we could stir dissent and do a cat's paw at the same time.
Or try one, and if one does not work, then
as
do
the
the other.
backup? So
Yeah,
Either way, I'd rather not go to the island
right.
right.
unless we absolutely have to.
because we're going to see something there, and
We're going to die.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what
At least I'm
happened,
going to die.
So yeah, kind of into keeping that at arm's length, if at all possible. So I mean, are we all kind of in agreement that it sounds like if we can, sabotage the machine, that's probably our win state?
If we create dissent, it might be easier to sneak in a cat's paw to sabotage the machine.
I don't think so, because everyone would be on high alert at that point.
That's true.
But if we're taking the plan where we're blacklisting Hofeng, that may create enough dissension that even if there is another cult member that is keeping the normal routine flowing, it's easier to sneak in a cat's paw at that point.
Right.
So.
Just, trying to get us all kind of flowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
So you,
and it is 5:30.
You have plenty of options to do this, and you certainly don't know what. Finding out what the victory condition is probably one of the big ones, which will probably mean getting information from Hofeng himself, stealing documents from him. Probably these cultists are pretty literary. They like writing notes and stuff.
Ross is now holding a sign above his head saying, "Sneak into his house and read things."
Well, that's one option. Or you don't know anything about the American or the man with the eagle tattoo, or if they're the same person or not.
Or if we want to use our...
You could go back to the dock worker.
Or if you want to use the small crawler ID still again, use that to kind of get an audience with Hofeng, and then...
No.
He would certainly know that you're not Indian.
Yeah.
Well, at least associated with them.
He probably knows the people in the small crawler cults. And you, sir, are no small crawler cultist.
Like, if we're going to do that, we're going to try to do it. I mean, I don't care if we have to set up a shell company.
That's a 0 point mythos spin. The cult leader will know what the other cultists are, who the other cultists are.
It only works on the poorly paid, poorly educated dock worker.
Yeah.
That's fine. So.
Yeah, basically.
No, I mean, if we want to actually face to face with the mastermind, then we set up a shell company of Vandalay Enterprises and try to get in and set up a shipping.
He is a
contract
legitimate businessman. You can try and set up a contract.
Try to figure out some way to inveigle him. Yeah.
And then we put the poison tea plan in action.
Right.
Yeah, no, go for it. Assassinating a dude during a business meeting.
Hey, I was the first to suggest
cat's paw would be better than just...
Right.
Set up a patsy to do your dirty work. That will be fine.
That's...
Okay.
That's the way the world works.
Sacrifice the cheerleader, save the world.
All right, fair enough.
Can we use a French patsy? No.
So what do you want to do for the rest? Do you guys want to sneak on board the Dark Mistress or not?
Sneaking on board the Dark Mistress would be committing to getting onto the island.
Not per se. I mean, we can see if there's just any information.
They are receiving crates of it tonight. It will be docked there all night.
So as long as we can get on and get off.
You can get on and get off.
Yeah. If we could actually acquire the materials and, construct a big enough boom, if we sink his boat that he's using...
What type of power source does the ship run on? Is it sails or does it have a steam engine?
The register said coal, but...
It already has a bomb on board.
Okay.
We just have to rig it to blow.
How old is the ship, by the way?
Says
19th century construction,
but it's been
reconfigured, which means that boiler is even more likely to blow.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean...
Lightning goes in and let it go.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's within point, nearly. So, I mean...
We could just rent, a little junk. That is the correct phrase.
I know.
Phrasing.
It was just the delivery.
a little jump to get inside the Dark Mistress.
Yes.
Hello. I mean, so
I'll be quiet.
It will be docked.
no. Please continue with your idea. We just needed to laugh at the hilarious way you said it.
Welcome back to middle school.
You would have the
The thing.
No, use your
No, the
words.
ship could give you a justification for being on the docks, i.e. not raising your alert or your heat.
So, I mean, the question that kind of poses to me is, does blowing up his ship, is that...
Set it back.
Yeah. Because it might not.
Well,
it
if
might
there's
just be the
pieces
ship
of the
convenience.
machine on there, then yes, it would.
Or depending on how complete the primary one is on the island, though.
It's almost done, but they may have one key component that's left behind. Because
Or-
otherwise, why would the Dark Mistress even be coming back into port?
I mean, every component
Or-
is probably a key component.
Or it's
here.
coming back to get Po Feng, and then we just blow it up with him on it.
Right.
Because they
True.
need the Master of Ceremonies, so whatever.
Okay.
It
A lot of
wouldn't be going there
speculation.
yet.
Yep.
Blow the boat.
I mean, I think it's a gain in some regard if we can, without being caught, blow the boat.
Yeah, which would be easier if we just rigged the boiler.
Yeah. I've got mechanical repair.
Sneak on, rig the boiler, sneak off.
All right.
Watch fireworks.
Let's see here.
More like waterworks, but whatever.
There would be some fireworks.
All
That's
right. So first off, you want to blow it up. So to blow it up, you're not getting the explosive. You're just going to assume you can rig the
boiler to blow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which should be easy, especially if they're using yellow coal from China, which is more combustible because it's not as stable. It's not nearly as efficient.
Okay, so to break this down as a task that can be done, first off, you need to get there. Obviously, a stealth check would be the easiest way to get there. It's you just like, hey, I'm just a normal person. I'm not someone you should be watching or surveilling or arresting.
I spend points of normalcy.
Yeah, exactly.
What would happen if we put a lightning gun inside
That's
the
what
boiler?
I was thinking. Yeah, just
How would you
Just throw it in the
get to go
boiler.
off?
wait
Well,
for it.
yeah. If you had do you have physics or anything? Anybody have physics?
Something
I could
will
only
happen.
put points in so many things.
Yeah.
guys.
Physics seemed unlikely.
Yeah, physics. Well, yeah, no. So you have no idea what kind of reaction with throwing a lightning gun in a boiler would be. You could fire the lightning gun at the boiler. That would probably do something
We
interesting.
could just fire the lightning gun at the ship if we wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Oh god, electrify the hull, kill everybody.
Unless it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
That can be our plan B.
Like yes, lightning, but
Her interior is in
lightning.
mahogany, and you probably wouldn't like destroy
fucking
the whole
insulators.
thing. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not like it's that hard to blow a boiler.
No.
Because you have mechanical repair and you can rig it to blow itself.
Right.
So that you would have time to get off of there.
It's, yeah, it's a slow roll thing.
Okay.
Like, essentially, probably foul a regulator in such a way that when it's under low pressure, it's not important, but once it actually gets up to steam, blew it.
Although, we need to make sure that the piece actually blows because they have friends in the ocean, so they could recover the piece.
All right, so first off, let's do the stealth check. You can spend that forever. So it's a group stealth check. Who's spending points? You've spent a day there resting. I guess you guys can refresh your physical things.
Okay.
Does that include stealth?
Yeah, that'll include stealth. Like you,
It usually does.
yeah.
I know. I just like to double check every single time.
You probably will need it. So group stealth check. Who's spending points?
I will spend 3.
All right. Anyone
Wants
else
it to
spending?
happen.
Never mind.
I'll spend one. Do we need to make a heat?
Yes, make a heat too. Because
That we
you're
don't
not
have.
trying not to be seen, which would be
So we
impossible.
need to make 2.
It's to look normal. Yeah.
2.
2. Okay.
Sean, why did you insist on doing that? You hurt everybody.
You can lower your heat, John.
I didn't
But that would take spins. But that, as I mentioned in the beginning. So as you're going through the international settlement, you see, you pass a patrol of the Shanghai Municipal Police. You see a British inspector who recognizes you, and he waves at you.
I go to take him out for a drink. You guys can carry on without me.
Okay.
All right, that's an easy way to do it. Yep.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right. Took one for the team, but you can still have your points for that stealth
one
check.
for the team.
So go ahead and roll.
You guys get
Had
the
to
3.
go drinking.
You get the 3.
Damn.
Yeah.
So we have a total of 4 to add to the 3, which
So
is 7.
All right, yeah, no, you are just normal McNormalcy. So you get to the docks. The Dark Mistress has been tied up. You see crew are finishing up. Crazy, yes.
Yep.
Has been tied
That's
up.
the other reason to blow up the boat, so this will stop happening.
Will it though? I don't know. This is Sean, so yeah, we're making observation based on past actions. It's weird, yeah.
Fair enough.
So you, the crew is almost done. There's only one crate left to be loaded on there, and you can see the dock workers already leaving. The remaining crew there, you see that there's like 6 crew members. 5 regular crew and 1 captain. You're at a distance, so you can't make out much about them other than, yeah, that's the crew, all right, because they're on that boat and they look like they know it. So it's getting close to curfew. Curfew is people who work at the people have to work at night at the dock, so it's not like no one can be seen. Yeah, but people will certainly question you if you're out there and you're not clearly a worker or of someone who should be there, because they might call the police if you're
Could we disguise ourselves?
loitering or potential thieves, which is a valid concern there. So pretty soon you'll have to make another stealth check to avoid not being
Could we
harassed.
roll
by-
disguise first to disguise ourselves as people that should be there?
Well, I guess you could disguise yourself as a cook or some other servant type, bringing laundry to the workers.
Or spend a point of bureaucracy to be, port inspectors.
Yeah, you could certainly call in a favor and do that, and try and yeah, that's your character's advantage, and that's your so with a point of bureaucracy, you could certainly do that.
Okay,
and that would give you a justification to openly be on the ship, and that's your servant, or that's your
and I can act as a secretary.
Secretary. So it's very
done.
And the guy's like, he can see the younger woman's like, oh yeah, no, sure, clearly you're just trying to show off your connections. So, or actually, no, he's probably met Sulan before. So he's like, oh yeah, fine, whatever. You got to get your kick somehow in this crazy city with the riots and everything.
Never believed it'd be on a motherfucking boat.
So, and what about it? Yeah, I guess Anne could be part of that too.
Yeah.
So this is just harassing.
Are she gonna? It's like pimp helmet, handlebar mustache, big British pimp.
Yeah. Smashing.
I'm glad I went for a drink because I don't think I can stand observing this.
Yeah. No, pure point of
This
bureaucracy.
is my retinue.
It gives you your retinue. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's even 3 women showing up. Let me inspect your boat.
Oh my gosh, contextless RPG sessions.
Yes. So you get there, and the captain is Captain
Blythe.
Savoyard, and he is American, actually. He has an Eastern American accent. Let's see here. Margot, you actually recognize it. It's a Massachusetts type accent. Very peculiar. You actually could spend a point of occult, history, oral history. Or do you have any of those skills? I'd make it a 0 point spin.
I have a history one if you want me to.
You're British, so I don't know if you'd have to make a spin for that. This one would be 0 point.
I'd be happy to make a spin.
Wait,
I have. Well, I don't know if Streetwise would actually work.
Streetwise would work,
okay.
actually. 0 point, you've actually met these kind of these characters before. They're very unsavory. These are sailors hail from Innsmouth, Massachusetts. Yeah. They are rather... they must inbreed like hell over there, as far as you can tell. They are all ugly as sin. Bulging eyes. Let's see here. The captain in particular has a rubbery, degenerate look. His nose is partially eaten away. His eyes have yellowish veins, and bald patches spot his otherwise thick, greasy black hair. Do any of you have medicine?
Yes.
Or physics? All right. Medicine for 0 points. He is obviously sick. It does not appear to be scurvy. It appears to be something else. As a spin, you can actually recognize it because it's rather exotic for this time of age.
So it's not syphilis. It's rather exotic.
It is not syphilis.
Whatever. I'll spend.
All right.
what they're
Actually,
for.
you've heard of this. It is because you remember reading a paper about Madame Curie and what happened to her. This man seems to be suffering from radium. Radium poisoning in particular, as you call it. So when you show him your writ of inspection,
Is he now able to challenge Moloch, god of the dead, for the soul of anyone who dies in his presence?
You don't know. That's not visible.
Dead Earth.
Dead Earth at RPPR after hours. So
Done.
yeah, he looks at your writ very suspiciously. He realizes he has to, but you also get a sense he's going to tail you and not
Out
let
of
you.
my, with my medicine spend, could I perchance recommend to him treatment to ameliorate the effects of his...
Are you going to be honest and tell him what he has, or are you going to lie to him? What are you saying?
Excuse me, sir. I know this is beyond the pale of what I'm here for, but you seem unwell.
This damn city, it's the humidity and the bugs. I must have gotten bitten.
I understand.
Not used to this heat.
Yes, it afflicted me too when I first came here. Might I suggest, just, as a...
Quinine.
Yeah.
Make him think it's malaria.
Well, what actually treats radiation sickness?
Nothing. At this
I
point.
know you just
No,
die
no,
slowly.
no.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It was worth a shot.
No, with medicine, you
But
could
a
lie
lot
on.
of the symptoms are going to actually be similar to malaria.
Fair enough.
The early symptoms.
Actually, since you have medicine, with the preparedness check, you could have something on hand for malaria.
I don't have preparedness, but
You could always make a base check.
I do.
Since I'm with him.
Do you have medicine?
No, but I have preparedness, though, if he informs me.
Is this an area where we would have quinine ready because we would be expecting malaria?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Yes.
You can make preparedness check.
I will make a preparedness check.
Malaria is everywhere, baby.
So, that'll be 7.
Okay, yeah, you have something on hand because you've been expecting to get sick or hopeful. So you can give that to him.
Okay.
He is a little ameliorated, kind of surprised that someone should show him kindness.
that's
Yeah,
pretty much what I was doing.
yeah.
Considering we're about to blow up your boat. What?
And it's not actually going to help.
So
Placebo effect, it might.
well, yeah,
Probably
no.
not against
Because
radiation.
that's how radiation poisoning works, Bill.
I'm sorry.
He might
dinner.
turn into a Hulk. You don't know.
Start the reactor.
Which is this guy? Do we notice if he has a tattoo?
Yes. Well, is he wearing
He does not have a tattoo of the Order of the Bloated Woman. He does not. He does have
Military tattoos.
He does not have any military tattoos either. He does have a medallion with occult symbols on it. Those of you with a Cthulhu mythos recognize it as the Order of Dagon.
That's a thing.
Yep. Why are you making that face, Eric? It's fine. So he lets you on board. He shows you his ship, his room. He quickly closes the door to his cabin, but from a quick peek inside, you can see it is filthy. He's not a very clean person. Let's see here. There is the cargo. It is filled with crates. It is,
Great.
they are all nailed shut, and he will not. You realize, unless you have some sort of reason, you're not an actual. You're
Right.
You're on legal thin ice if you actually try to aha, we must seize this stuff. You can look around, but
Remember the mission.
the crew quarters are cramped and filthy bunks. There are small storage lockers, a midship wheelhouse, a lounge, a dining room, a galley, 3 small guest rooms, 3 toilets. There's also an unoccupied owner's suite, which is locked. Our owner, the owner of the ship, Sir Penhurst, that's where he stays when he's here, but he's not here right now. He's away on business.
Nice ellipsis there, Ross.
Yeah, so the engine compartment, let's see here.
By the way,
Actually,
I probably need somebody to inveigle him for a second so I can.
I'm out drinking.
he shows you it, but he just says, it's new, the system's tinkering, you can't actually go in. But look, see, it's a boiler. All right, let's go on.
Oh, but that was actually this was a safety inspection.
It's safe.
That's a
It's
thing
been-
that happens in the 20s.
All right, yeah, this is whatever he
Actually,
points, but
yeah.
he does not want you to look in the room. He does not even want you to set foot in the room. But from a cursory glance, you get this for free for anybody with mechanics repair.
Yay.
Yay.
That's not a coal boiler. You have no idea what that is. That is a totally different engine system.
You don't want to blow this thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we do.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Maybe about, 300 miles that way.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Right when it pulls into port.
That's oddly specific.
yeah. So yeah, he opens the door, but he is blocking the door and says, "See, all right, now moving on." So if you want to get him in, you have to make spins.
Do you have bureaucracy?
I already.
Or you could, karate. The other sailors have actually left. They have gone to the bars. They will not be back until later tonight.
Oh, he's the only one on the boat?
A point of reassurance
Yeah.
to him. So,
Things that will raise your heat. Murdering a ship's captain.
Yeah.
spending a point of reassurance. Sir, we do not. That's like 10. We do not want to. We're not here to divulge any secrets of how your ship operates. We're only going for general safety standards.
It's safe.
Tell him that
You can't
what we're
spend.
gonna do.
Cannot spend on reassurance. He will not be reassured.
Okay.
Well, we're wondering, can I
Flirt
start
with the
talking
fisherman.
about, like, oh, you must be from Massachusetts. I'd recognize that accent anywhere.
Margo, we went to Miskatonic.
I'm a New Yorker.
What have you heard of Innsmouth?
But it's in Massachusetts. I said you're from Massachusetts.
Yes.
Isthmus, I'm not
Yes.
actually familiar with.
Innsmouth.
Innsmouth, I'm
Heard
sorry.
it from my best friend,
It's a
J.
small
Edgar
fishing
Hoover.
town.
Oh. Sounds interesting. I'm from New York. Have you ever been to New York? I love New
Yes.
York, especially in the springtime.
Margo has turned into Sylvie.
All right,
It's so
Shannon.
great to meet another American,
Okay.
especially from the East Coast.
Are you using flattery?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. I want to talk about America and how proud I am to be from there.
America.
America. All right. He is distracted he's talking to Sylvie. To Mark.
They're channeling Sylvie.
But he's still standing in front of the door. He lowers his arm, so there is a space
And
between.
then can I faint suddenly?
Huh?
I faint
yeah,
suddenly?
no. At that point,
Into his arms.
faint into his arms. He's like, "Oh my! I must." These
Oh my gosh, the rolling waves, they're making me sick. Oh.
We're dog. So he picks you up. He starts carrying you to the lounge. So what do you guys do? All right. So he's sufficiently distracted and flustered.
Can I just say, Anna's quiet a lot, but when she decides to speak,
It's so true.
Yeah. No, she goes big. Like, is anyone going with her?
Yeah, I will go with her.
Okay. All right. So you two are in the lounge.
Okay.
Yeah.
she needs a female chaperone.
That's right.
Speaking of
And he is so flustered, he did not expect that at all, that he does not even think to lock the door behind him. All right, so you have a moment. All right,
4
so
points of mechanical repair to not.
there is a firebox in there. It has been heavily modified. You can spend one round to look at it, and you realize it is covered in thick black paint. And you chip at it, and you realize that this is not iron. This is. Do you have geology or anything like that?
I do.
Oh, geology. This is lead.
Oh, that's
So,
poison.
anyway, it is. Let's see here. You can see that there is a. Well, yeah, you can make. You can spend two. You can spend 2 mechanical repair points to analyze the basic idea of the system, or you could open the firebox. You could open the firebox. It is unlocked. If you want to look
Let's
at
not do that.
well, you can't fully understand the system unless you do that. Like, how can you understand a machine if you don't look at it? Like,
Okay. Not to meta
You
too
don't-
hard, but since you have 2 points and I have more than 2 points, do you want to spend for the information and then I can spend for the sabotage roll?
In metagaming, and I'm spending for the radiation poisoning that I'm going to be getting. Sorry.
We'll deal with that later.
You're going to roll with
all right, so each of you gets one action. What is your action? We'll do this round per round because we don't know how long Margo can distract the captain. Are you going to look at the basically you can either spin the round looking at the other systems to kind of figure out how is it moving the boat, the ship, or you could open the door and find out what the MacGuffin is.
I would rather look around to see. Damn.
Got to make this decide soon. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Okay.
After I made it 15.
Seeing as he was this ominous about it, trying to look. Is there any safety equipment around?
That's your action. To look around to find safety equipment. You spin around, look around. You do see some strange little parts of machines. Looks like they're used to fix these things, but you do not see anything. There's actually nothing like this that would be here for a coal system. This is not powered by coal. You can tell that there's no fire suppression system. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
This is definitely not. And the coal bin is empty. There's no goddamn coal in a coal ship. So that's Aaron's action. What is your action?
So do I begin to understand it enough?
Yeah, if you spend the 2 points of mechanical repair, you can have a eureka moment and understand at least the basic, some idea of how the system works. how the engine works without opening the door.
So are you going to do that, or do I need to lower my chance of getting a successful roll to do that?
So, with me opening the door then? Or?
You gotta look.
I'll
at the
spend 2
firebox.
points to understand it.
All right, you realize that this ship, this engine, this firebox is still hot, and it is still generating. It is still taking in water to generate steam to move the turbines.
Yes.
But you can't think of they're not burning coal, but there's something really
Doesn't
hot.
matter what they're burning. If
Yeah.
they're making steam, you can still make a steam explosion.
You can't make a steam explosion. Yes.
Sure.
Like cordwood.
Anyways, back in the lounge, the fluster captain tries to give you first aid. Yeah.
Fainted. What?
He checks your pulse, make sure you're not knocked out, and then he goes to fetch the smelling salts.
Where does he go to fetch them?
There is a first aid kit in the lounge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why he went there.
Right.
He took you there. So what are you doing? So
I would like to spend a point of locksmith to jam the door so he can't leave.
yeah, you could do with the point. You can do it pretty much instantly. Dink. All right, the door's jammed. Good
All right.
job. And he doesn't notice.
yeah.
Margot, are you doing anything?
I'm gonna still pretend.
All right,
I fainted.
you're committing to the act. So the next round, he turns around. He has smelling salts. He tears them open. He's going to. This is going to be unpleasant. If you let him do that, give me a health check.
Okay.
Throw up on his shoes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you throw up and you sort of convulse. You will have a +1 difficult. All your physical rolls will be at a +1 difficulty for the rest of this scene because, this is not pleasant. What about you, Sula?
What am I doing after
Yeah.
I jam the door?
Yeah. You see, he's giving her smelling salts,
Okay, well,
and she's like, "Oh God!"
right. I will run over there and start just kind of fussing over her and generally making a scene.
Okay, so you're continually distracted. So he's focused on this, and he's like, "All right." So you get one action from that. So you guys get another action.
Great.
All
I'll
right.
spend 2 points to try to sabotage the thing.
Okay. All right.
2 points into a roll. So 6.
Okay. You think let's see here, to create a steam explosion, when has this ever been done? I can't think before. You think,
Can I spend 2 points other to give to him in the assistance?
yeah, you can both work on that.
Okay,
Okay.
that'll be
So that would
There,
be an
it
8
would be, there are two main pipes from the firebox. The firebox is generating the steam that's moving off. So you could bottleneck the two pipes to cause a bottleneck, and it builds up and causes the explosion. So there's two pipes you have to basically clog up.
Okay.
But they have superheated steam in them right now. So in order
They're
to
sitting there with a full. They're sitting there
they would be. Yeah. Okay.
with a full head of steam.
They're not. Oh yeah, they're not doing it right. They're still hot though. They're not like.
Okay.
There's always some steam going through. It looks like this system is continually operating, but they're not
Okay.
running full steam. So they're not letting much water in at it right now. Very drip. So to do that, with the tools you have, you could go to the end of the cut a hole far away from the thing where it's relatively cool, and you just start throwing metal in. That's pretty obvious and pretty easy.
Welp.
Yeah, basically.
Or we could make a health test to do things in the hot. That might be more
The
effective.
easiest way to do that would be to go in the firebox and open it up and jam it in through there. That would be pretty much instantaneous.
All right, fine. Done.
All right. You open that firebox. All right.
What's wrong?
And Bill has no flesh.
All right. You open it up, and there is a chunk of glowing green stone hidden in the firebox.
Green, really glowing green, really raw.
It is an unearthly. Geology. It is not
Of this world.
it is not of this world. Let's see here.
Don't care. Stuffing stuff in there.
All right,
Doesn't
both
matter.
of you give me health checks.
Okay.
You're in the room too, Eric.
I'll spend 2.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
That's
You've had so
I've covered wars,
yeah. You drank so much blood in the water.
5.
It's finally paying
Yeah.
off. 5.
5.
All right, you're fine for now.
Okay.
You can't have children, but
I was too old anyway.
All right. So the next round, he's like, "All right, you take care of her. I need to go back. The
based on
engine is
everything I've
very
seen,
temperamental." So
Darn,
No, wait, please don't leave me. I beg him to stay.
well, he
I don't
said,
know what
"No,
to
it's
do."
fine. It's fine." He rushes the door, and it's jammed. He's like, "The hell? What's wrong with the door?"
You stuck us in here!
No, I haven't. I didn't need
So I
to.
throw myself in front of Margot and say, I won't let you!
No. All right. So he is suddenly trying to calm you down. So you don't have to make a spin, but you've delayed him for another round as he's trying to prove that he is not that kind of monster. He is a monster, but not that kind of monster.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
upstairs, this has turned into like a stage farce.
Yeah.
There needs to be more doors so you can all run around slamming them.
I really hope I can figure out how to get out of here.
So that's for him this round. So you're continuing to fluster him, so good job. Margot, you can act. Oh, good boy, the smelling salts are unpleasant. And for listeners home, I have not extensively researched smelling salts, so sorry if I'm biologically inaccurate with these, pharmaceutically inaccurate. Back to you guys. You jam shit in there really well. You think you got it.
All right.
And you close it up.
Cool.
You could. Yeah, I mean, maybe it will fall out, or maybe you could spend one more round doing it to guarantee.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So you're doing one more round.
Sure.
All right. One more health check.
Okay. I'll spin one this time.
This will fully block it off. So as soon as it.
Yeah, I'll spin two.
All right.
Down to 8.
That's 6.
Yeah.
No, it's a 4.
4.
Max.
8 and 5 again.
All right, you're both. You feel a little weird, just, but you're like, nope. Your hair doesn't start falling out. So good job.
All right.
So next round, the captain. Wait, there's the other door to the kitchen. He rushes. He goes to the other door, which you didn't lock because you.
It really is a farce.
No, but this is okay.
The kitchen goes around the other side.
All of you run with him, and then when
So-
he gets there, crash into
So he
him.
goes into the kitchen.
Right.
He leaves to the kitchen unless you're going to
I chase him.
Oh, you chase. What are you doing? Why are you chasing? I'm trying not to.
Well, no, I'm gonna act like, you can't lock us in here! You can't!
I'm not.
Start yelling at him in Chinese.
Yeah.
You can give him make a scuffling check, and you can basically
Lock him down.
You can lock him
I
down.
will spend 2.
Old lady head badge, the world's first
So I
crowd
get an
control.
8.
All right, with an 8. He trips and falls into the kitchen.
It's a fan, not a handbag.
He is just screaming at you like, "Get off me, you crazy woman! I just want to get to my engine."
The Keystone Deep one.
Yeah. So
Meanwhile, back at the bar,
yeah,
glug.
the others are doing all right.
So would we have enough time to run out of the kitchen
Best mission
and close
ever.
the door behind us? Since he's down on the floor.
Yeah, you could run over him and just
Yeah, okay.
leave.
That's what I want to do.
All right, so the two of you rush past him in the kitchen.
Slam the door behind us.
The other door of the kitchen, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. So he's locked in there.
Golly,
Well,
this
you
is
already spent a
going-
point locks. Maybe you could jam that door. He's going to know you jammed it, though. So,
That's fine.
all right.
Well, we could just
So
run
you
and
lock
shout
him
so
in the
they know we're
kitchen.
coming.
So he's going to have to bust either the kitchen door or the lounge door
Right.
to get
Yes.
back the rest of the ship.
Wait,
So we
no,
had-
no,
No.
if you lock the other one, that makes it more suspicious.
He'll check the engine.
We can just run, I think, and let them know we're coming.
You're saying
I don't
Not
know if we
jam
No, it's her
the other
choice.
door.
It's her choice. And
Not jam the other door.
Besides,
I don't know if we
she
need
has a
to.
pretext for oh god, he's going to attack.
Yeah.
Fair point.
So you jam the door. You two start running the hallway. So you two, you're done. You slam the door.
Feeling somewhat
quietly
woozy.
close the door.
You quietly close the door.
and then start
All right.
playing the opening bars of Minnie the Moocher as
Okay.
we creep away.
Okay. You realize though the guy might check it since you've been here alone with the engine. If you turn the steam on right now, it'd be sure to blow. There's a vent. There's a little gauge there. Turn it.
How much time do we have to get on this boat?
Right.
That's a good question.
We're gonna be jumping in the water and explode.
All right, are you cranking? How percentage wise? It's at 0% right now. It's on standby. 0 to 100%. What are you putting it at?
Yeah, 75 sounds pretty good.
That sounds like a decision I would make.
I don't know. You'd probably go 100%. Screw it.
Just run up. Well, everything seems to be in order now. Bye!
Does this thing go to 11?
All right, so
Well, we have a pretext for getting off the boat really quickly because
Yeah,
I can.
you're all rushing off. So are you running off the docks, getting as far as you can, or are you just going to walk
The
off
brisk
casually?
pace once we
Walk
get
off
around the
with
corner and then start
Walk
brisk
off
running.
at a brisk pace.
Yeah.
All right.
No, seriously.
One of you roll a d6.
One of us?
Yeah, one of you. This is for the
3.
group. All right. So
They don't have me with them. They're
No. This is not heat. This is so you put it 75%. So you
Yeah.
have 75% chance of it blowing up before you got to a safe distance without running. Which you did. It explodes. You don't. The captain sinks. So everyone, give me an athletics check to
Oh, spending.
Meanwhile, back at the bar, hey, how you feel about another round, McKinley?
Spinning 3.
Also spinning 3.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, 7.
6.
Six.
You all rolled 3s.
All right. Everyone
fours.
takes 1 point of damage from shrapnel.
That's a fair cop.
And radiation, but you don't know about that yet.
That's
'Cause
seems to
Was
blame.
a 5 good enough? Because actually I had...
5 is good enough to take 1 point. Like, you're close enough that you're taking some, but you didn't get hit by anything big. And you're behind cover. So because you hear there's a split moment. You hear just a hissing sound, and you're like, oh shit, and you hit the deck, and there's an explosion, then there's yelling, and people are going over.
Why was there a hubcap on that boat?
You do know, bartender, you know that Irish car bomb is just an expression for the drink.
Were they car bombing by the 20s? I thought it was a little later. Okay,
But were they? But had someone made the drink?
probably. So you guys can get away for free, actually, but your heat will be raised because
Yeah.
To mine.
yes, actually your heat is now 3 because you're the one that made the bureaucracy spend to inspect that boat and people talk. You did. You're
Who that's still alive is talking?
the inspector.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Sorry. Yeah.
So you
Sometimes
get away for free now,
bureaucracy
but
is
your
a
heat
bit-
is now 3. Everyone else's is 2.
Okay.
You're fine. Give me a health check. How drunk do you get?
Very drunk.
Give me a roll a heat check to see if you inadvertently say something.
Nope.
All right, you keep. Yeah, you're just.
I just start singing British songs.
All right, great job.
British drinking songs.
So you're there until dawn because you stayed past curfew and they can't let you out.
I sing the one that's in the Man Who Would Be King.
Oh, very good choice. Good choice.
Yes.
I'll give you a point of stability for that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
As you're reassured. Everyone else, give me a stability check. You
Yeah.
probably killed innocent. Actually, you two don't need to. You two, unless you two tell them what was in the goddamn engine box, because you probably irradiated the harbor.
Oh. But we don't know that.
We don't know what
You
radiation is.
do know because you know what radium poisoning is because you spent that point of medicine.
damn
So
it.
you need to spend that. Are you telling anybody else?
Oh wait, do I need to say that? Well, I don't know what this
Yeah,
is.
are you telling anybody else?
No.
All right,
Left.
give me that stability check.
Nope.
All right, that's forced stability. Oh God, they're all going to die horribly. Years of agony. That will weigh down on your soul.
This character's going quickly.
That's gonna put it down.
But
for a
on
while.
the other hand, you are now a believer. That was an unearthly rock. That was not that kind of propulsion system.
So they get a point of Cthulhu mythos.
You get a point of Cthulhu mythos. You realize that there are things in this world. And that book wasn't nonsense. He was telling the truth that you skimmed. And you head back to Sulan's house and read up on it throughout the night as your reaction. And you realize, of course, part of you says, the British could use this kind of technology.
Of course a Brit would say that.
Of course he would.
Perhaps appropriate task force
That was amazing.
could easily overwhelm some dirty cultists on an island with the kind of naval guns we have.
That was an
Yes.
impressive explosion. I wonder if it could be used as a
60 years later in the Falklands.
Oh
Yeah, the British
man!
could use this. So you ideas are spinning in your character's head, but you've had your first taste of adventure, and
I didn't. I had my first taste of liquor.
What? What? Not first.
This character.
Well,
On screen.
Yeah.
So you all get back the next day, and you can figure out your next move. I don't care how much longer do you guys want to play. I mean, because if you want to go into the mansion or the warehouse to do an infiltration thing, I would.
That'd be a longer scene.
We might need to cap it.
Get people.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you got people
before
what?
people
Just
do
let me
it.
know what you want you to do. Like, what is your major goal? Do you want to infiltrate the mansion or the warehouse?
I
Or
feel like maybe we should wait and see what happens as a result.
Yeah,
the
observe
literal fallout from
Hofong's
the
house
okay.
Yeah.
and see what happens as a result of this huge, gigantic cluster,
Okay.
And the warehouse.
cluster cap.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
in-man
I'll
layout.
reread those sections and prep for
Okay.
both eventualities in 2 weeks' time. When we come back, and yeah, anything else you want to take care of with it? All right, so question, comments, suggestions. How do you guys like this?
I loved it. I thought I was going to die, and instead I wound up sitting it out and drinking. So it was great.
Heath, not always horrible.
Not well. I mean, that's the thing is you still had suffered a disadvantage. You just had to, take yourself out of the scene. Like,
Oh, damn.
yeah, which is fine. And you also risked accidentally in letting them know that you're investigating cults, which would have been bad because you got so drunk. So
Luckily, that
yeah.
didn't happen.
That didn't happen. So yeah, it's not always bad, but certainly now that ships explode, like people are going to be a little more suspicious and that kind of. And certainly, you're going to have a scene where you have to deal with the consequences of that anyway. Because like you investigated that ship, and then it exploded. Could you tell us what happened?
They were using some sort of new untested propulsion system, obviously. It's
Oh.
on the books as having
Here's
been
my report on it.
I don't understand it at all.
In that case, they'll be like, "Oh, well, why don't you keep investigating that and find us that propulsion system?"
Okay.
In which case, you're going to have to start keeping reporting into naval intelligence. So,
Who said I wasn't?
all right, fair enough.
Who says you're supplying correct information anyway?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can become an agent of the British Empire. So, or more so. Yeah. Any other questions? Pretty clear for everything. So,
Yeah.
all right, cool. We'll see you guys next time.